everything that I did, no matter how hard I had to work or how much I had to struggle, it didn't matter because I knew what the purpose was and I found my passion. Always discover your vision and the rest will follow.
You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, if you don't have anybody who can sell it for you or tell the public, it's a waste of time, the whole thing.
For 35 years, Columbus, Ohio has hosted one of the largest multi-sport events in the world. Welcome to the Greater Columbus Convention Center. This is the Arnold Classic. More than 10,000 athletes representing more than 80 countries are expected this weekend in the Buckeye State. As we say hello to the 2023 Arnold Classic PPV presented by High Tech, the official sponsor of pay-per-view. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Columbus, Ohio. Todd Harris alongside Janet Leug, Fuad Abiad, and, of course, my good friend Dennis James. Guys, we are here again. It's good to have the crew back together. First initial reactions, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm really excited to see who's going to come back and retain their title. If Ariel Kadir could do it again for a second time. She, we saw her during this prejudging. Her physique was phenomenal, but that was only 1/3 of the judging, so it does come down to the other 2/3 for the routine. It'll be pretty exciting. Also with wellness, Angela Borges is looking the best ever that I've ever seen her. Her physique coming in very tight, full round. I think she may take it this year.
Fuad, how about you?
Well, the Classic is pretty interesting. I think, Ramon is the favorite right now, but I think I want to see if Urs can get a little sharper for tonight. I mean, he was pretty sharp earlier, but I don't know if he can make that change for tonight and kind of jump ahead of Ramon. But there's also Summerfield. Is it Summerfield?
Mike Summerfield.
Mike Summerfield is amazing, but was a little bit off. So I think if he can come back a little bit sharper, he can compete with Alex a little bit more tonight. So I want to see kind of how that Classic, the top four there, shake out, or if they're just going to be the exact area we thought they were going to be in.
And last but not least, Dennis, what are you looking for?
I am super excited, and I'm looking forward for the big boys to come on for the prejudging tonight, because this is what everybody's been waiting on, to see Ken Rami come back after losing to Olympia and redeem himself.
Yeah.
Or William Bonac. Can Nick Walker repeat his 2021 Arnold Classic win? So it's going to be, and then we got Samson Dowda, who is a favorite also going into the show. So it's very excited. And I'm also very excited to see Andrew Jack bringing a much better package than the Olympia. So it's going to be an awesome event.
Well, plenty to look forward to. We've got you for an hour as our pre-show begins, and we will give you an idea of what you can expect over the next couple days of competition here at the 35 years of the Arnold Classic. Now, Friday, we've got the Fitness International. That'll kick things off at 7 o'clock. Then at 7:20, it's the Wellness International. Classic Physique at 7:40. 7:55, we shift to the Arnold Classic prejudging. That's for comparisons. 8:05, it's the Arnold Classic Physique Finals and the pose down. And 8:10, we'll have the Arnold Classic Men's Open prejudging. And, of course, 8:55, we will have the awards. And then tomorrow, pre-show again at 6 o'clock. Your same four best friends. Arnold Classic individual posing routines at 7:15. Bikini International at 7:50. 8:05 is the men's physique. 8:55 the Arnold Classic comparisons round. And we wrap things up with the Arnold Classic pose down. And at 9:15 the awards are handed out, more than likely by the governor himself. So over the next 55 minutes or so, we've got you here getting you ready, getting you all the information you need to know. Some of the stuff you probably didn't think you needed to know, like why in the world Dennis James likes pie filling, Janet's go-to cheat meal, which is I'll let her tell you, but we got lots to talk about. Guys, let's talk about this event. It has gotten bigger every year. Last year was amazing. It was my first year, and walking through the expo, the size, the scope of the whole thing. DJ, as you walk through the halls, does it look like to you that this thing is expanding, is growing even more so?
Well, especially now after COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the people coming back, and they're back out there. The vendors are back, so it's definitely picking up again where it left off before COVID, and I'm looking forward to an even bigger and better Arnold again next year.
Fouad, you host the Real Bodybuilding podcast. What's the buzz been like out there on the social media verse?
Man, there's so many storylines. I think the one thing that we haven't talked about today at all, and the thing that a lot of people are talking about, what's super exciting about this open lineup that's coming out tonight, is Sean Clarita, who is the 212 Mr. Olympia, has made the jump into the open. And I think everybody, that's kind of what we've been talking about on the podcast. It's what a lot of the social media sites have been talking about. And it's really a big deal to see somebody. I mean, I think Sean weighs in at about 194 pounds. So for somebody who weighs in at 194 pounds to be competing against guys that are almost 100 pounds heavier than they are and could potentially beat them is a huge storyline in itself.
Yeah. And Janet, for you, as a former champion, I don't know if you get a chance to walk the halls very much at the Expo because you get stopped so much for pictures and things like that, but do you feel the growth of this event? Has it just gone exponentially since, I don't say since you won it just a few years ago?
Coming here every year has been something I've absolutely looked forward to because there's tons of people from all over the world just cramming in the hallways. And, you know, since post-COVID, coming back and trying to rebuild it from what it was before, I think the Arnold's done an incredible job. And so many people are wanting to come and support. And the representation that the Arnold has always had, that was never lost.
Right.
And you can tell that here. There's so much energy, so much fun. People just excited to see like the vendors and other events going on, not just the bodybuilding show here, but there's so much for everyone. That's why I think a lot of families and people, spectators love to come to this event every single year. And I was just in the hallway, in the lobby, and I heard a guy say, I'm so glad they never shut it down during COVID because I look forward to this every single year. And that was touching.
Yeah, I think what Dennis said earlier today about the first weekend March is always, it's on the calendar. You come to Columbus for the Arnold Classic. I want to show you some videos. This is just a little bit of what you'll see walking through, and it's a little bit, as to Janet's point, it's a little bit of something for everyone. You come down on Friday, you stay Saturday, Sunday, you'll see powerlifting, bodybuilding, chase tag, a new event. You can pick up pretty much anything down in the expo area. Try this out, try that out. Probably fill up your sample bag, and then you to see the world's best compete. Last year it was slap fighting. That's kind of what took the thing by storm. This year, guys, the talk of the town is not the tanning area, but the keg lift. It is chase tag. And I knew well, played as a kid. You played tag, whatever. It's kind of crazy. I went down there and watched a little bit this afternoon. It's something else. I mean, these guys are like, they're all hopped up meerkats running around. No, I didn't do it because it's like
no, you didn't do it, but you watched it.
I watched it, yeah, but it's like someone's basically chasing you through this parkour course for 20 seconds. You either have to evade or they get you tagged, and they get the crowd all hyped up, and it's like it gives me a lot of anxiety. There's some guys after me, but it's got a double hamstring pull.
What's the course like though?
So it's like ramps, there's bars, there's slides, things you climb over like an urban park. But some of these guys are amazing. They're hopping over stuff, belly slidings.
So they only have 20 seconds to get the
it's
first.
less than 20.
Okay.
Do they get to practice on the course first?
Yeah,
so
I was
they
watching.
know,
They're
so
swinging,
they know what's there?
swinging over pipes, flipping over. It's crazy to watch.
It
And
would
they're
be-
all wiry and quick. I mean, for me, it's got double pulled hamstring, but it looks really fun.
It would be funny to not know what the course is. So
Like, see it
they can
blind.
literally like walk into the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, but it was really cool. So anyways, there's a lot to see here at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Interesting numbers, 447,000 square feet. This thing was built in 1993. It was expanded in 99 and 2016. So they are pouring money into this, and that's probably why I think the support of the community, guys, is probably why the Arnold Classic comes back here year after year. Do you think? Thoughts?
Absolutely. Like walking down the street, all the restaurants here, they're so supportive, and they even have meals named after the Arnold, and that's really cool and fun to pop into different restaurants around town, and very supportive of the Arnold. Everyone, I feel like, knows what the Arnold is. I stopped into a store to grab a few things, and I said, I'm here for the Arnold, and they're like, oh yeah, I know that. Like everyone, it's just well known here.
There's not a sandwich in the local place called the Janet.
I think I need that.
That's what I'm saying. The Fouad, I'll take the double Fouad with the side of Dennis James. It is pretty cool. It's a great atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah. I think even though the show's not in somewhere like Vegas, I think that's kind of the attraction of it. Being kind of in the heart of the Midwest, you get a lot of people from Michigan, Indiana, obviously from Ohio, New York. They travel everywhere. And then you get a lot of Canadian people that come over too. Like I said, this is a show I've been coming to for 20 years. So you get people from Toronto, from from all over.
It's international, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a much more welcoming and easy location to get to for more people. So.
Yeah, I've brought my daughter several years. They actually had tennis here one year, and so we got to check that out. That was pretty neat.
And the first one you came to, you drove to, right?
I've been driving here for 20 years. Wow. Every year, because it's like a 3-hour drive for me. So I just jump in the car.
When you cross the border, they say, "Where are you going?" You go, "I'm going to the Arnold." Like, oh, okay. Yeah,
and then they say, "Good luck." And even when I wasn't a pro, I would say, "Thank you. I'm going to go compete and win."
Bring
just go with it. Just go
bring
with
home a plastic trophy.
That's right.
You should pass it on through. I just missed out.
Yeah.
I'll get him next year, though. Well, as we said, this is the 35th year of the Arnold Classic here in Columbus, Ohio. It has been sensational. Some of the names, some of the legends, some of the events we've seen pass through this has been something to behold. And just a few other numbers I wanted to mention. We talked about 10,000 athletes that will converge on the greater Columbus area, representing 80 countries. So many different sports will be here. It started in 1989, and here we are in 2023 after a global pandemic, and it's still going.
Yeah.
So I think it says a lot about the governor himself and his commitment to it. Because like you said, he could have taken this probably somewhere else, to Vegas or Los Angeles or somewhere like that.
I think there's a couple things that he should really be applauded for, and that's one, like Janet said, keeping going through COVID and not stopping when a lot of other sports stopped, a lot of other venues closed down. Arnold kind of kept things running, so that's one of the main things he should be applauded for. But
and also, I mean, he upped the prize money last year to $200,000 first prize, and this year it's up to $300,000. So I mean,
Dennis stole my second point.
That's definitely worth mentioning.
I was going to say, because last year they had the highest prize money for Classic.
Yeah.
And then this year, they had the prize money set for the winner at $200,000, and they decided, you know what, we're going to increase it. So the winner now is $300,000, and from doing that, they got a host more Olympia competitors jump in.
I think that makes it even much more prestigious. And let's remind ourselves that this is an invitational, so you have to be invited to compete here.
That's right.
So I think these athletes are really looking forward to competing here at this prestigious level.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of athletes, let's talk about one. Oh, boom. The 2021 champion, Nick Walker. Anyone want to delve onto this subject? What do you think? What are his chances? How does he look?
Well, his chances are very. He's probably the favorite going into the show. Nick Walker is one who wasn't really on my radar back in when he turned pro. Was it 219 or 220? He hasn't been a pro for too long. He wasn't really on my radar, but his work ethic and the way he is predicting his future is just it's just mind blowing, because you can really say this guy has a goal. And he chases his goal, and there's nothing that you can say or do that will lose focus.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, Nick Walker is always, and he will be in the future, always a guy who's fighting for the title.
I actually like to call Nick Mr. Predictable.
Yeah.
And that's usually a negative connotation. But with Nick, it's a very positive, and in bodybuilding, it's a very positive thing, because what you see in the off season, what you see in social media is usually what you get on stage, which is kind of a rare thing, because usually you see guys post on social media, they post their best photos, and then as they come into the show, we've seen many times they don't look the way they looked on social media. Nick, whether he posts 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 2 weeks out, that's the product you end up getting on stage, and he always looks good. He's never off, and he has a very predictable contest prep.
Very consistent.
Very consistent.
5'7", 255. There you see the numbers on him out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he has been impressive nonetheless. You talk about being Mr. Predictable. Could you also say Mr. Consistent?
Yes.
Well, I think consistent is probably a more positive way to look at it. But when I say predictable, I kind of mean when we do predictions for shows, you kind of know where Nick is going to be. And for this show, he's definitely the favorite, especially coming off beating all these guys at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So everybody's chasing Nick right now.
But since we're talking about consistency, in Nick's case, I would say he's consistently getting better every show.
Yes.
So that's another plus.
Yeah.
Well, we had an opportunity to spy in the eye on Nick Walker and some of his workouts. And guys, this is, I don't know, it takes you back to your days, but it's impressive. You can tell he spends some time in the gym. He puts in the hours. There's no question about it, because the proof is definitely there. Coming off a big win, Olympia, and he just continues to power on.
Nick is a very focused lifter when he's in the gym. He's very deliberate with his movements. He's very focused. He's not messing around. He's not on his phone. He's not, he has a very straightforward intention when he's there. and you can almost see it in him here where he's training. You can almost see that look on his face is there even in the off season.
I can almost feel it.
Yeah, yeah. You can.
No, for real. You know, there's no jerking. There's nothing. He's just literally his execution of doing his exercise. And I thought it was just for the videos in the beginning. But this is really the way he trains, and that's why he is making the improvements he's making.
Does he go to the gym, and this is a super basic question, when he goes to the gym, does he know exactly what he's going to do and how much time he's going to spend there and how many reps on each machine he's going to be there?
I'm sure he knows exactly what he's playing.
He's got a game plan.
I've trained with Nick a couple times, and it's almost, I feel like he's like a lot of us. Like a lot of us when we go in, we have an idea of what we want to do, but it might vary a bit at the end. You might add in another extra exercise or change the last exercise. But when he gets in there, there's a bunch of staples that you know he's going to hit, and he kind of knows where he's going.
Well, we are, less than 45 minutes away from the start of tonight's, and we'll have Fitness International kick things off. But before we do that, we want to bounce back. We were talking about Nick and his workout and what he was able to do, and we had a chance to sit down with Nick Walker and get his thoughts about the 2023 edition of the Arnold Classic.
Back in 2021, people doubted that I couldn't win the Arnold Classic, and I said I was going to do it, and I did it. 2 years later, I'm here again to defend my title for 2-time. People still doubt me, and I said I'm going to win this one, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going into this Arnold, this has probably been the hardest prep that me and Matt has ever pushed for. I thought we pushed pretty hard for the Olympia, but we went another level for this one. I told him I wanted to be pretty much skinless, and I think we're just about to achieve that. And it definitely got hard at times, but you have to remember what the end goal is. And at 28 years old, I want to be a 2-time Arnold Classic champ. So that's the only thing I had in my mind. That's the only thing I have in my mind. And that's exactly how I'm going to finish. And going into this Arnold, I've already beaten everybody at the Olympia. And I'm a lot better than what I was at the Olympia. I'm definitely more conditioned. I'm a lot tighter. I'm going to be a lot drier. And I believe I'm also going to be a lot fuller. So this is my show. And I'm going to win this Arnold.
All right, so a lot to digest there. As a neophyte, Fouad, I'll ask you, he wants to be skinless and drier. Explain, what does that mean to the common folks out there?
I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people.
Skinless and drier.
Basically, if you look at an anatomy chart, when you look at an anatomy chart, you see just the muscle and where it lays and all that. And that's what he's talking about. He wants to look like he has no skin, and it's just an anatomy chart. And you know what? From the pictures he's been posting, that's kind of what he looks like. That's what we should expect.
Yeah. Another athlete we want to focus on. When I say big, what do you think next?
Rami.
There you go. That's right. All you have to say is big, and here he is. And guys, this is going to be impressive because it comes to us by way of Egypt. 5'9", 295, the 2012 Amateur Olympia out of Kuwait, 2020, 2021 Mr. Olympia. He's got a pretty healthy resume there, and it looks like he has not skipped too many days in the gym.
Yeah, but 5'9", that's not accurate. He's at least 5'10 and a half, if not 5'11.
You think?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Is he the
Well,
heaviest?
Dennis has had the privilege of working with him for quite a long time.
Yeah,
So we'll have the graphics department update that to 5'10".
He's way taller than me.
5'11". Okay.
Yeah.
But 295. Janet was asking, is that as heavy as he's been? I mean, that's.
No, he's been heavier. I mean, he walks around in off season anywhere around from 330 to 340. And his contest weight it varies from anywhere from the high 70s, like 279, which he was back in 21. And he's been on stage as high as 310.
Oof.
So where is his perfect weight?
Right.
I say it's somewhere in the 90s, so 295 sounds very well. Sounds just about right. And I'm just happy to see him on this stage here because, as a two-time Mr. Olympia, ending up in fifth is a hard pill to swallow, and others would probably sit back and it would just, devastate him for a while before they even pick up again and start training. And he came around and said, listen, I got to go to the Arnold, which was only 10 weeks away from the Olympia. And for him to have that kind of mindset tells me everything about Rami. So, and I'm really happy that he's in the show. I'm looking forward for him. To him coming in and hopefully, be better than he was at the Olympia.
Yeah, you saw his numbers, Janet. He is, that's a complete resume.
Sounds like he's looking to come back for redemption.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that Rami is done. A lot of the commentary on social media has been maybe his time has passed, maybe he can't get it back, maybe that showing at the Olympia was an indication that he's kind of past his prime, but I don't believe that.
No,
I think he'll actually show up and impress a lot of people and potentially win.
Yeah, because listen, I saw him leading up to the Olympia, and I know what he looked like.
Yeah.
And I would have put my house on everything that he would win the Olympia the way he did. So I know what he's capable of, and if he can bring that, I think that he's going to be fighting Nick, and then it's really about who has more size and the overall package.
Well, I think if we get the 2021 Rami,
2020.
Sorry, no, the 21 version when he won 21.
Yeah, but I think it was.
You think the 2020 was the best?
Yes, he was. Yeah, 2021 he wasn't really. He wasn't.
Well,
as
2020 was better, but I think even if we get a 21 Rami, I still think he can win.
Yeah, but think about it. In 2020, Rami weighed in at 284, 285 for prejudging.
Yeah.
And no, 292 for prejudging and 289 for the finals. In 2021, he weighed in at 283 for prejudging and 279 for the finals.
Yeah.
Because he had that long layoff after the show after 2020, and he didn't get a chance to have the offseason that he needed to bring his weight back. So he basically went straight into a contest prep from not training from the Olympia until like June or July, and then going to the Olympia. So he wasn't at his best. Mm-hmm. It was close between him and Brandon, but the way he looked in 2020 was, for me, it was his all-time best. And
well, if he shows up like 2020, I think he walks away with this victory.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
Is 2023 though the year of William Bonac? I mean, the two-time champion.
It's very possible.
He looks pretty good.
That's the interesting thing about this lineup, because there's so many great guys in the show this year.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this is the most competitive Arnold Classic in at least 10 years. And William, came off a strong second place last year where he, arguably should have won. And he's here from redemption too, because he didn't place as well at the Olympia, and he's coming back to get a third Arnold Classic title.
Are those numbers okay with you? 5'7", 235?
Yes, I don't know if it's 5'7".
I'm running everything past you now. Everything past you.
Yeah. Well, you can see there in 2022 at the Olympia, he was 9th place. So he slipped quite a bit from his previous look and his previous expectations. And there's a new crop of guys that have come in. Andrew Jack is here, and Nick has really stepped up, and Derek Lunsford jumped in. So Bonac kind of slid back, partially because there's new guys, but partially also because he's getting a little bit older. So I think at this show, we've seen from some of the pictures he's been posting that his conditioning is definitely better. I think the question for William is going to be, is the size and fullness still there, or has that kind of gone away with age a little bit? Yeah. So that's what we're going to see tonight.
How much do you think the mindset, the mental part of this takes role? Because, like, with Nick, you see in his video, he's very confident, and he's wanting this. He's fighting for this. He's very motivated to get this.
I think with someone like William, if we're touching on that with his mindset, I think you're talking about a veteran. So when you're talking about someone like William, I don't think it's shaking him one way or another. I think he's like, he knows what he has to do. He's been here before. It's not a matter of like throwing him off his game or anything like that.
But he also knows that his back is against the wall.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of urgency.
So this is a must.
Yes.
This is a must for, I'm not saying he has to win the Arnold.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But he must present a package where we say, yes, William is still here.
I agree with that. But with someone, you can tell me, William's in his 40s now, I believe.
Yes.
I think someone in their 40s is not getting nerves before the show. They kind of know they've mapped out what they have to do for their prep. They understand they maybe weren't hard enough at the Olympia. But I just wonder, can he regain some of the size that he lost?
But you know what? Last year, prior to the Olympia, I saw him guest pose a few weeks out from the Olympia, and he was
heard about
unbelievable.
Yes.
Actually, I took pictures of him that time, and that was the old William.
Sure.
Where I said, well, he's fighting for the title in the Olympia.
Yeah.
I really thought so. At the end of the day, if the prep is going well and you feel great and you go into the Olympia and something maybe possibly, and it happens all the time, can go wrong, and you slip like he did, that's where the mindset is very important, because now you feel great again. You post pictures. Can I hold it?
Can you finish it?
Can I bring it to the stage? That's the only thing that's on his mind right now.
Sure. All right, you guys have talked about the veterans, those names that we've come to know and love over the last few years. There are some wild cards, though, this year. Some young, Fouad mentioned some young talent that's coming up, and they're going to start pushing these older guys.
Sure.
I don't know what's the sweet spot of being a bodybuilder? When do you get towards the end of your career and the new guys start pushing you aside?
Well, this is an interesting thing about the sport, is it's almost like it doesn't matter what your age is, it's more your training years. So when you talk about someone like Samson's 36 years old. If you talk about somebody like Andrew Jack, I believe he's in his mid-30s as well.
Oh, he's 38.
So late 30s.
Okay.
So you would say, okay, if the guy's 38, he probably has a couple years left. But being as he just started, or relatively, just started, he's kind of, his body's still fresh. So someone like Andrew, someone like Samson, someone like Samson could potentially compete into his mid-40s and still be okay because he started bodybuilding later on. So these guys are the new guys, but they're a little bit older. But Samson's been around for a while. He's been steadily making progress. Last year he was 4th here, and he kind of showed up. People took notice last year finally, but he's been around for a few years now competing. Last year he made everybody take notice, and at the Olympia he really showed up. So now everybody's expecting him to be anywhere from 1st to 4th, somewhere in that mix.
5'11", 275 sound good to you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh no! Wait a minute.
Hold on.
He might be heavier than 275.
I got something to say about that. So full disclosure, Samson is one of my athletes at Hostile Supplements. I was with him a couple days ago. He was 297. Now he's probably going to dry out, so he'll be lighter than that on stage. But he is 6 feet tall, and he's going to be definitely over 275. He'll probably be in the 280s.
Okay. Give you an idea of what his day is like when he hits the gym.
What impresses me the most with Samson is not only is he one of the biggest guys out there, he's also one of the guys that competes the most in the last 3 years. He's done so many shows. And I know, how hard it is to peak several times. And he was really, really consistent and actually got better with each show. So that's the way Samson, put his name in the mix. And today is one of the best bodybuilders in the world.
One of the biggest things about Samson that is a little bit more rare nowadays is he loves to travel. He'll get out and do guest posings. He'll get out and do meet and greets. He travels all over the world, all over Europe. He comes to the U.S., and he just loves meeting his fans. He loves just the life of a bodybuilder and the bodybuilding business of meeting people and getting out there, and actually appreciates that fan base that he has.
That shows his discipline to be able to travel and maintain that shape and regimen and diet.
Yeah, as a professional bodybuilder, that's your job. You should travel. I mean, this is an international sport. There's people all over the world. They want to see the top athletes in the world. So if you don't travel, not everybody gets a chance or has the funds to buy the tickets to see the Olympia or the Arnold Classic in the U.S. So they're happy when some of these guys travel abroad and do store appearances, guest posings, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Samson's based now in the UK, right? So
Samson
it's easy for him to get around Europe.
Yes.
A little longer to get to the States, but he's still doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's doing a guest posing this year I believe in Hong Kong or somewhere in Southeast Asia. So he travels all over to do these things.
What are the chances they put him in a middle seat and coach? Does that happen?
I've seen it happen.
No way. You cannot squeeze that man
back in the day.
Listen, I've seen it happen years ago when after the Arnold days, usually we used to have a tour. We went to Australia. And I remember I think it was Tony Freeman was sitting in the middle seat for 15 hours straight.
And Tony Freeman was like 6'2", 300, 290.
Oh, wow. All right, another name I want to bring up. How about Sean Clarita? What do you guys think? What's your take on him?
To me, Sean is the wild card. Sean is, like I said, he is the shortest and lightest guy on stage, but definitely the most compact and well-proportioned, and is going to be in amazing condition. So, and, coming with the legacy of a 212 Olympian, he's going to be one to watch.
5'2", 178?
Yeah, I'm telling you, in stature, Sean is a very small person. But when he takes off those clothes and he's in his trunks on stage, if you looked at him by himself, he would look like Mr. Olympia. The thing is, we have to see what he's going to look like when you stand him next to someone like Nick, someone like Samson, someone like Rami. Then you're like, okay, what's the disparity here?
Yeah, my thing with Sean Clarita is that he needs a little bit of help from the bigger guys ahead of him. So if anybody is off, Sean Clarita will slip right by him. Doesn't matter how many. If he's 100 pounds heavier than him, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because he is that good. So he won the 212 Olympia twice now. He's won a open show where he beat guys 100 pounds bigger than him. Like we're talking Sergio Oliva, Regan Grimes.
And Regan,
So it's not like that. It's not small. If you put him on a scale, he's light.
Right.
But when he takes his clothes off, he comes alive.
Lots of detail.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Sean at work. And, he definitely puts in the time and puts in the hours. Saw him walking around earlier today.
I think Sean, I believe when he started, Dennis, wasn't he like something like 165 pounds?
Oh, he was probably lighter than that. I don't think he was that heavy when he started.
I'm sorry?
I don't think he was that heavy when he started.
No, I believe he was in the like 160 range.
When the first time he competed.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay. I think you said when he started. When he
No,
started
I
lifting,
mean, like,
he
when
was
you-
probably 120 or 100.
Yeah. So now we're looking at him. I think he's going to weigh in around 190. So he's still put on that, like, 40, 50, 60 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Sean Carlito getting his work in. Franco Colombo wasn't a huge guy either, and he was Arnold's training partner, correct?
I believe Franco was bigger than Sean, though. I
Yeah.
think, in my 20 years anyway, Sean seems to be the smallest in stature bodybuilder that I've seen
Under 200 pounds.
make this type of progress. And really just like I said, beating somebody like Sergio or Regan, those are big names in the sport. And, they were off a little bit, and he was able to expose them. And it's kind of like we talked about earlier today. When you put guys in a lineup, you start to see the weaknesses come out. So Sean's going to expose people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great talent that we'll see passing through this whole weekend long. Andrew Jack, another guy that name kind of we might be talking about more come Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Andrew is the talk of bodybuilding currently because he's so impressive, because his shape is so beautiful. And to date, the only knock on him has been he hasn't been able to nail that condition down. But with a change in coaching and a change in training strategies, his face is looking a little more sunken in this time around, and people are expecting him to show up and make some waves.
Yeah. I mean, with Andrew, his shape is so beautiful that he doesn't even have to be 100% to look like he's conditioned.
Yeah.
The only knock on him that I saw was that when he turned around, he wasn't as hard from the rear as from the front because he had this deep separated abs. If he just stands, here's the thing with Andrew. If he stands on stage, just relaxed, he looks like a statue. First two poses is front double biceps and front lat splits. He stands out. Those are his shots. So, his knock was only when he turned to the side a little bit, and then especially from the rear, the back was not as hard. But if they were able to fix this, which I think they can, then, if we see an Andrew harder than he's ever been, and he's, just the same front to back,
it's going to be interesting.
it's going to be very interesting because he's going to outpose and he's going to outshape almost everybody.
I'm going to
on
throw.
stage.
Go ahead.
I disagree with that.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the show. Here we go. Jan and I will sit back and listen to this.
Only because I don't think anybody on the stage will outpose Samson. Samson is known for his posing. He's known for his presentation on stage.
I'm not talking about the routine.
No, I'm talking about mandatories.
I was talking about mandatories.
I think that's one of the areas that Andrew had to fix, along with that conditioning from the back.
Let's just compare now. Let's put this together. Andrew Jack, front double biceps next to everybody else. Andrew Jack looked like he's just like it's like 1.5 times the size of everybody else. Why? Because he holds his arms like that. He twists a little bit. He just creates an illusion that is, for me, unbelievable.
From his side shots to me,
I'm talking about the front. Like, no, you're going straight to the side.
Well, you're
See, you're going straight to the side.
Only the best. But I do want to say that what he said about Andrew is correct. He is a statue. And I think that's kind of the story of this show because if you look at Samson and Andrew, they have very statuesque physiques. And if you look at Nick, it's more raw muscle. So there's one guy coming in with raw muscle, all the size, and shredded. And then you have a couple guys who are statuesque, but we're not sure if they're going to be able to nail that conditioning till tonight, till we see them step on stage. And then the Rami is that wild card with Sean. It's like, do you put him ahead of Nick? Do you put him behind Samson and Andrew? Where do we put those two guys? So those two are the people I'm watching tonight.
Senator James, would you like to rebuttal?
You know what? Here's the thing. The Arnold this year, there's literally 5 guys that could easily walk away with a title.
Wouldn't surprise you.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if Andrew would win the show. It wouldn't surprise me if Rami wins. Same with Nick. Same with Samson. And who am I missing? And even William Bonat.
Could you see Sean winning?
Not unless these guys are off.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. As much as I love Sean and as much as I want to see him do well, it's going to be really hard because we always say a good tall guy will always beat a good smaller guy.
Let me throw some names out there. Let's talk Kamal. We're talking about wild card names. We'll just go down the list.
Kamal is
talk
extremely interesting because he's 51 now, 52.
Going on 52, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
I believe he's 52 years old. And this is absolutely insane to see somebody in this kind of shape that still trains the way he trains and looks like this walk on stage at 52
See, this
years
is
old.
eat your heart out Tom Brady stuff. People making a big deal about Tom Brady in his 40s playing. Look at this. This guy's 52. Stop.
And you know what? And I think it's because he had a very long layoff in between. It was like, I think, 10 or something years where he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, and seeing him at 52, there's no signs of age on his body. And maybe these quads, maybe a little straight up and down now.
I'm starting to see
this
a
is
little
where
bit.
it starts.
Yeah.
But his condition, he was probably one of the most consistent guys when it comes to conditioning, and that's his plus. You know, and at 52, still being on top of your game.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what else can you ask for?
Let's talk Patrick. What do you guys? What's your take on him?
Patrick will be exciting to see because he's been out for a little while. He had a couple of injuries last year. He's been away. He showed some really great promise at his Olympia debut. People were really, really impressed with his physique and his shape, his conditioning. Then he kind of fell off a little bit, but now he seems to be back and focused. And I think people are expecting something special from him. Now, the only tricky thing about Patrick is he may not be big enough to compete with some of these other guys. I mean, even if you look at Justin, if you look at Akeem, these guys are very thick, dense guys. I don't know if Patrick has enough size to hold up with those guys. Okay. And once you get into that top 6, then these guys are a different category.
You ask, and here it is. Justin Rodriguez now, 5'9", 258.
Justin Rodriguez was a guy that last year, I remember very well, for prejudging, when he came out, I thought he could win the show. He was that good. And in looking back at the score sheets from last year, he was 3rd after prejudging. And he ended up in 5th because he came back at the finals, and I don't know what happened, but this is where you see that things can go wrong within an hour. He came back for the finals, and he was probably 20% worse than he was in the morning, you know, and that's why he went back 2 spots. So, but I expect Justin to be Justin. He's a big guy. He has, when he's in great condition, he will compete. But I don't know if he can bring the condition that these guys bring ahead of him. So we'll have to see.
And last but not least, let's talk about Akeem. What do you think?
Akeem is kind of one to watch for me. I've seen a couple updates come up recently on social media. He looks a little bit harder than his previous shows. And I'm really interested to see because Akeem carries a ton of mass. And one of the knocks on him, you know, he beat Kamal last year in Tampa. And it was a little bit controversial because Akeem was a little bit off in condition. But when he brings that condition, he's been as high as 6th at the Olympia. So he can compete with these other guys. He just has to bring the conditioning.
All right, so plenty of digest there. We are still, 20 minutes away from the night kicking off. We've got plenty of things to talk about. Let's talk about Fitness International. We saw that prejudging earlier today. Janet, this is always an exciting time. The ladies look fantastic. Obviously, they all came prepared.
I think when this round, we watched the posing round for prejudging, I think that could be one of the hardest parts because you're having to hold your shape and really focus in on like the fine details of posing and watching your water, your intake to ensure that your muscles are popping in, they're full, not taking in too much water. Yeah. So I think that's like very hard to be able to hold that all throughout the prejudging for the fitness category. But now that we're going into finals, they can, refuel and, make sure they have enough energy to expend to put on this routine. They use a ton of energy with the high jumps and the kicks and the flips. But I'm very excited to see the different routines. It's one of my favorite divisions to watch. So entertaining.
Yeah. Let's start with Ariel. Good place to start. Her routines are always just, spot on.
Former champion, last year's champion. She brought it last year with the Terminator routine. I just wowed the entire crowd. I'm wondering, how hard is that to be able to top, bringing your best with the routine? You have to be very creative and coming up with a new routine. But during prejudging with her physique, she really stood out with her conditioning, the definition. And I mean, with that round of judging, I think she definitely took first place. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think she won that round.
I think the most interesting thing about Ariel is we've seen her for quite a few years now, and every year she just gets a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, and she's making her way to the very top. And that's how now we've seen her win the Arnold. and I wouldn't be surprised if we see her win an Olympia in the near future. So she just keeps getting better, and she turned pro at a very young age.
17 or something like that, right?
So I think she's just going to keep coming into her own.
But when you
until
set
she's
the
at top.
bar that high on her routine, and it was a fan favorite moment last year, the Terminator, she played up to it. How do you, like to Janet's point, how do you top that? Does she come back and do like a kindergarten cop one, or is she all of Arnold's movies? She does a theme after that? Or?
I don't know if it's a matter of topping it. I think it's a matter of just it's going to be as good, but something different.
Yeah, she's a firecracker. I mean, she's a shorter one, but her routines are, and she kind of reminds me of Regiana da Silva, who had always this entertaining routine with a lot of energy and a lot of just, enthusiasm.
Right.
And I think that Ariel is the same way. And she can do basically the same moves that she did last year, just on a different song, in a different,
Different order.
different order. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Can't even remember what
Janet,
I wanted to say.
let's talk Jacqueline Baker.
Jacqueline was very comparable as far as physique-wise. She had great conditioning, but I still think that Ariel kind of topped that. But she could give her a run for the money, depending on how the fitness routine goes tonight.
I don't remember her routine from last year.
You don't?
I think I remember her being good, but I don't think she was on the same level as Ariel.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be, like Janet said, that'll be the story tonight. It surprised me that they picked those two physiques, though, out of all the physiques we saw today. It surprised me that those were their two favorite physiques.
I had one that was that kind of stood out to me among the entire lineup. Michelle
Mensah.
Michelle.
She was very impressive.
But I wonder, and it's like we've talked about before, do the judges score her down at all for being a little bit more muscular than the other girls? Because she had amazing shape, but didn't necessarily have the same condition. And she's definitely more muscular than the other girls. So I don't know if in fitness that's a...
But Ford, I think her condition was good enough. I don't think that they ask for super field conditioning when it comes to fitness females. So I think her condition was just good enough, and her shape was beautiful.
Her shape was
so
amazing.
Hopefully Michelle brings a great routine so she can compete with Ariel and Jacqueline.
When I say her conditioning wasn't as good, I'm comparing... I just think because the judges picked Jacqueline and Ariel, who were in tremendous condition. So she was a little softer. So I'm trying to make the
Do you think she should have been brought out?
It's also
three?
hard.
I liked her physique the best, but I'm trying to see what the judges see, and the distinction was the conditioning was the main thing.
If I'm not mistaken, was that Michelle's first show?
I think it's her
Arnold.
It's her first Arnold.
debut,
Yeah.
Was it? Okay, so is she coming off of 5th place at the Olympia?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the judges already know her. So yeah, you might be right.
From Fitness International, we turn our attention to Wellness International, and this was the Dennis James moment. You guys remember during pre-judging, he just
Dennis didn't
don't
say
bother
much.
me. Just
Why
he was
you
just
guys
focusing.
always
No, you
wanna
were just
put me on Front Street here?
You were just focused on that
He did.
I was.
pre-judging, and so I'm going to go to you first, DJ. And what do you think, and what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Angela
Okay.
possibly winning this again. Or did she win the Arnold before?
No. Last year was
second place.
Oh, Issa was last year.
Which is interesting that we don't have the former champion here competing this year, so we're going to have a new league crowned
Okay, so she
champion.
got 3rd last year. So I'm looking forward to her first Arnold Classic win, and she stood out to me. You
Yeah.
know, even though all girls for me, they're all beautiful, they're all great, they all have unbelievable bodies, but you can still see, especially when it comes to displaying your physique, that she's probably leading the pack tonight.
Yeah, she was definitely stunning as she came out. Earlier today, we had the pre-judging. If you joined us, you saw it. Cassandra, let's talk about another athlete that we'll probably be seeing, and definitely stood out in pre-judging.
Cassandra, she was comparable in height, so her structure overall was a little similar to Angela's. I think she was a little bit on the harder side on the upper body. And with wellness, you want to have, the judges do look for a little bit smaller in the upper body. And I think it stood out that hers was a little bit more as far as balance goes between the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Cassandra across the chest, across that upper chest, you can see it's almost like she has a little bit wider shoulders, a little bit more pec, and I think Angela has more of the criteria for for wellness.
We're going to continue on with some of the athletes to look out for here in Wellness International, which is coming up shortly. This is one also, the guys that Rayanne came out for Fogel, another Brazilian athlete, past Olympia places 2022. She finished in the top 5.
Rayanne Fogel had a beautiful physique, great presentation. I did feel like she was a little bit softer than Angela and Cassandra. So I think that's where they kind of put her either in 3rd or 4th. She'll be somewhere in there. I think it's more so based on conditioning than anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just wondering, is there another confirmation round physique-wise tonight after the routines?
There may be, because there may be changes from prejudging to tonight in finals. You never know what can happen in between. Did they eat something, that could cause a change in their the shift in their physique, or maybe nerves, or are they holding some kind of water? All those details will play a role, and with confirmation round again, they want to make sure that.
But let me ask you this, because there's the routine round where it's going to be judged 2/3 of the scores. So now, would someone sacrifice the physique a little bit for more energy, just eat more?
Oh, so are we talking about
For
fitness?
Fitness, and
Okay.
don't worry about the physique, so they can just
Oh,
shine at the
for
routine.
fitness, I believe so. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to, do what they need to do to have enough energy to
Right.
perform at their best.
Right.
And that's what's the main focus here tonight for their fitness routines. And that's why I believe that they have the posing routine first, judging, to get that hard, stressful part out.
Before we leave Wellness International, let's look at one last athlete, Marissa. Marissa Andrews comes in out of Detroit, Michigan, currently in her first year of dental school. Obviously, we've talked about her sister being here as well. This is her Wellness International debut, so big night for her.
I think she looked good. I think it's a good debut for her. I think she displayed good conditioning, good muscularity. I think it was just a little bit tougher competition. I think Alexis showed up and made a mark for herself. So we're going to see how Marissa does tonight. If she comes back a little bit better, I think she could jump ahead, but maybe the conditioning could get a little tighter for tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That'll be in wellness. Then we'll shift over to classic physique, and we'll take a look at some of the athletes we'll be seeing in there tonight, because everything we saw earlier today, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, you talked about 4 or 5 that could win the big show, but how many people do you see in classic that really have a real life opportunity that's like, oh, it wouldn't surprise me? Is it 2? Is it 3, 4?
Well, after prejudging, I think this is a one-man show tonight.
Oh, really?
To be honest, I think this is a Ramon show.
You think it's all Ramon?
It's Ramon's shows, unless he does something drastic and comes in worse tonight, which I don't think he will, because he's got a great team. He knows he's in the lead. I mean, he has to feel like he's in the lead. And the only one that's really close to him right now is Urs. So, and I think it's a two-man show.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ramon keeps getting better and better. And he was great at the Olympia, and he's actually stepped up his game. Even though he was great at the Olympia, we actually saw even better Ramon today.
And there
so
is Urs.
Urs is the second place guy. Now, if you ask me before the show started how many guys can win, I would say it's a 2 or 3 man show. But after seeing prejudging, I 100% agree with DJ. It's kind of
Ramon's to lose.
It's Ramon's to lose at this point. Yeah.
But Urs is still young. If you look at him, he's in his early 20s. He's got, very bright future. He's already a top guy. I mean, he's been the top guy the last 2 years, and he just started.
Yeah.
So I told Urs a couple of years ago, you're going to be a future classic physique Olympia, and I'll still stand by my word. He will be a future Mr. Olympia.
A name you brought up earlier, it was either you or Fuad, Mike Summerfield.
Mike Summerfield, is another German,
another
guy
German
from Germany.
athlete that's come here to Columbus and competing, and I had a chance to see him. What is he lacking? What is he still missing, Fuad? Where do you think he needs to go to take it to the next level?
This is the one that I think might be a toss-up, because Alex looks great, and I believe Mike is a little bit off. He's definitely not showing the same level of conditioning as Alex, Urs, and Ramon. So this one could be tricky. He could end up in 3rd based on his size and shape, or they might reward Alex for the conditioning and push him ahead of Mike.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Mike has the shape. He definitely has the shape over Alex, but Alex brings the condition. So what are the judges rewarding? Are they going to go for shape or condition? I'll see Alex in 3rd after prejudging, but like I said, it can change if Mike tightens up just a little bit, and then in the confirmation round, which is supposedly 50% of the scores, and that can, people can still, switch placings tonight.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
all I
chance.
want to hear.
There's
You're saying
always a chance, but I want to ask DJ, does Mike look like it's water, or does he look like he needs a couple more weeks of dieting?
I think it's maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely water because, and this has been his problem since day one.
Mm-hmm.
He has never been in super shredded contest condition. And I've been telling him for years, I said, if you nail it, you're going to be right on top fighting with the best of them, and you can see how good he is because even though he's never as conditioned as the top guys, he made it top 5 at the Olympia, and he's going to be top 3 or 4 here at the Arnold, so he's a top guy for sure.
Well, that's another question too with that structure, because that's where he keeps placing because of that structure.
Exactly.
So is that structure going to be enough to get him ahead of Alex tonight?
If he tightens up from this morning, yes, I believe he can, but we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
If he didn't make, he wasn't able to bring the conditioning in the last 2-3 years, is he going to do it from this morning to tonight? The chances are slim, but it's possible.
Sure.
One word, courage. I mean, it's got to be the best name at this year's Classic. He came out and maybe a year or two away, but looked good.
Courage needs to work on his condition. He's got the shape. He's a little bottom heavy, I think, for Classic, but he definitely needs to bring the condition to be able to compete with those guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's definitely showing a little bit more quad development than everything else in his physique. And when you look at Alex and Urs and Ramon especially, their conditioning is on a different level than some of the other guys.
We'll stay in this category. Jason Brown is another guy you guys, during prejudging, you made notice of, and former football player.
You know what? It was tricky because when I was watching him pose, the more I watched him pose, the more impressed I was with him. But then the judges actually kind of moved him out. So I don't know if he has the right hourglass shape, the right structure that they're looking for. It looked like his waist to shoulder ratio might have been a little less impressive than the other guys, and that might have been what held him back. Because as far as conditioning and muscularity goes, he has all of that. He had all. So it was just really the only fault I could see is he could use a little bit more to accentuate that hourglass shape a little bit more.
That's when we were talking about the size of the
the shorts, the
Yes.
trunks.
that could help be in his favor.
Sure.
To create an illusion more of an X frame.
Yeah.
The smaller.
He did have the biggest trunks on stage.
Yeah.
So I would say that could be something.
Last athlete we want to talk about is Junior Jaworski. He is also in this field as well. We take a look at him and his numbers. Here's what he brought, young man out of Curitiba, Brazil.
I think he brought the best he could bring. I think muscle proportion-wise, he's not on the same level with some of the top 4 or 5, but conditioning-wise, he was hands down in the same league as them. So I think that conditioning is what kind of pulled him ahead into that 5-6 spot.
So we are just about 6.5 minutes away from the start of our show. We hope you've enjoyed this pre-show, and wow, we get ready for the big kickoff tonight in about 6 minutes or so, and hopefully we'll have Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger joining us here on the set. He'll be out and about, and that's one of the great things. We talked about that early this morning, guys, is he's kept it in Columbus, and he's stayed engaged, Janet. He's been here, and as an athlete who's won before and been interviewed by him on the stage, that's a big moment for these guys.
He's absolutely dedicated and just committed to the industry that he's essentially built. He's the legend of bodybuilding, and he definitely shows that as he comes every single year to his show and makes a point to embrace and inspire millions of people around the world. And interesting, when I competed at the Arnold Australia, he was even there as well. And to me, that says a lot about, this is your show and you really own it, and how much you love and just are dedicated your life to this sport. And he always said that he was born a bodybuilder and he'll die a bodybuilder. So I think it's sweet to see how much he really loves the industry and just gives back in this way.
And he probably has other things on his schedule that he could be doing. I'm sure he clears the first week of March for this always. But DJ, I'll ask you this. Can you imagine being a winner of this and Arnold not being here to either congratulate you, take a picture with you, or interview you? That would be...
Yeah, I mean, this is, as an Arnold Classic competitor, especially here in Columbus, this is what you're looking forward to. I mean, to win the Arnold, to get the trophy from Arnold, there's not a lot of people that can say they ever gotten a trophy from Arnold. I mean, when it comes to, this is the 35th anniversary of the Arnold Classic, so there's only I don't know. Is it 30 winners?
I'm not sure. No, it wouldn't be 30 because we have
Oh,
some
with
multiple
Dex,
year
yeah,
winners.
Dex won 5, Flex Wheeler won 4.
I think Branch Warren won 3 or 4.
It's a
Two.
pretty small fraternity.
Two?
I think Branch won 2.
I think he won 3. Don't take one away from him.
No, oh no, Branch. I apologize, but I think it was
Dennis
2.
James, if you need to reach out to someone who made the mistake. But it's a small fraternity. I mean, the number of people
Yes.
that have said, oh, I stood on the stage and I received the Arnold Classic trophy from the man himself.
You know, it's interesting. So I always dreamed of that, but I never reached that level in my career. But I did have an interesting year. The last year I competed here, Cedric McMillan won that show. And because Cedric was such a good-hearted person and a kind of a team leader,
Right.
instead of taking the top 5, like he was first and then there's second through 6th.
Sure.
Instead of sending them all off and Cedric taking the spotlight with Arnold, Cedric called everybody back out and we all got to stand there
Oh, that's a
and
class
do
move.
the Arnold interview with Cedric.
That's a class move.
So I never got to be interviewed by Arnold, but
Right.
I got to stand there with Cedric while he got interviewed.
That's
But it was just a
amazing.
really classy unification, a unifying move by Cedric.
But you've been on the host set with Arnold.
I've been on the host set with him. I can say that.
There you go. You got that going. So the fans are continuing to pour in here in the convention center in Columbus, and we've just got word they're going to slide just a little bit so you get our company for just a few minutes longer, and that gives us an opportunity to chat about what we look forward to not only today but tomorrow, and we'll give you an idea of what the schedule looks like. It's a full schedule tonight, Friday. Saturday is even busier if it's possible, but here's how things are going to kick off around 7-ish. Fitness International, Wellness International, and then Classic Physique will be the first 3 things up. And then we'll have the Arnold Classic prejudging and comparisons. You won't want to miss that at 7:55. 8:05, Arnold Classic Physique Finals, that's comparison and pose down. 8:10, Arnold Classic Men's Open prejudging. And then we'll wrap things up on the night, 8:55, with awards. Hopefully the governor will be there for that. And then tomorrow, same thing, pre-show kicks off at 6 o'clock. 7:15 will be the Arnold Classic Individual Posing Routines, Bikini International, Men's Physique, Arnold Classic Comparisons Round, Arnold Classic Pose Down. That's a big one at 9:10. That's tomorrow night. And then 9:15 will be the awards. So we're looking forward to the next, 28 hours or so, and it's going to be sensational here in Columbus. I know the fans are pouring in. Had a chance to walk through the convention center. It's packed. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to the expo area, it's packed. And
Yeah.
so I
And
know
it's not
tomorrow's
even
gonna be-
Saturday yet.
Not even Saturday yet, and
Yep.
that's the big day.
Yep, tomorrow.
When you guys go around, and I know you guys get your pictures taken a lot with fans and that, what is your favorite part? And I'll start with you, Janet. What is your favorite part interaction? Is it the fans that are just passionate about the sport, or is it just they're so aware of who you are and they followed your career and they're just so interested in what you've done?
I think it's really cool to meet, fans that they love and have such a passion for fitness, and not even just for bodybuilding per se, but they come here, every single year. Some of these fans have been coming here for like decades.
Like 35 years?
Yeah, and that's really cool to see. I think that's just makes it something so special and unique that Arnold has created here at
Yeah.
the Sports Festival. But going through the halls and all the energy and just everyone having so much fun, so much to do, I think that's really, really cool to just feel that energy. My first year here, that was something I'll never forget. And the Arnold, like you said, Fuad, he was one of the first to create a festival out
That's
of
right.
Right.
this. So that was really interesting. I think that was very smart to include the entire community to be a part of it.
Yeah, and he rolls out the carpet every year and brings in a new sport, opportunities to blow. Fuad, you talked about it earlier today about driving here the first time, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm sure Columbus looked a little bit different. They didn't have an NHL hockey team. They didn't have an MLS soccer team. Still a big city, college town.
Yeah.
But it has grown into such a mecca
Yeah.
for fitness.
I mean, the feeling hasn't changed though.
Yeah.
Because I remember coming here the very first time, and it was the same thing. People just walking up and down the streets, carrying supplement bags, and some wearing T-shirts, some wearing hoodies. Doesn't matter what the weather was. If some want to show their muscle, some don't. But walking in and out of the expo, everybody just happy to be here and happy to meet their favorite people, and it's just a great feeling. It's a great environment to be in. Because generally most of us, when we live the bodybuilding lifestyle, most people don't understand what we're going through. Most people don't understand why we love the sport. So it's a really nice thing to get together with 200,000-300,000 people
Yeah.
in a weekend
Yeah.
that all kind of understand your passion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're all together,
We've talked about the past. We've talked about the present. Dennis, let's talk about the future. Where does this go? Where do you see this in another maybe one more decade, and when we get to the 45th Arnold Classic, you'll still be here taking pictures with the fans. But I mean, how much bigger can it get? Are they going to need another convention center?
Listen, it's just been growing since I come here in 1997, and I think it's still growing, and it will grow every year.
Right.
And it's just, and we give a lot of praise to Arnold, which is
Sure.
very, I mean, it is deserved. But he also has a great team. Without the team, this is not possible, because this is a lot of work to put all this together, especially with a big expo with all the competitors and all the different sports. So, a big shout out to everybody who's involved in putting this weekend together, and I'm looking forward to an even bigger one next year.
Do we want to embarrass some people? Do you want to throw some names out there, people that make it go for you?
Go ahead.
I would throw some names out there.
What do you mean?
I mean, who are the people? He said, Arnold's the guy, but there's other people behind the scenes that do that. I mean, like Brian Powers. You got our guy, Kerry Glotzer. You got Warren Pick in the truck, getting the TV going. And I mean, everyone's handling their business, I will say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was going to say one of the best moves that Arnold has made is bringing on Brian Powers, who has a larger vision for the show. Because a lot of promoters, like I promote shows, a lot of promoters put their show together. They have a set way they do it, and they don't really ever change or try to grow from there. And I think one of the interesting things about this is, even though the show is extremely successful, they keep trying to make it even better. So, bringing somebody on like Brian, or this year, one of the things they did this year that was really nice was they brought on all the social media influencers and all the different news shows to help advertise the show. And this is something we've discussed for a long time. Like me and my friends, me and some of the podcast people that I host with have discussed.
Yeah.
Why don't they bring in some of these social media news channels that do bodybuilding and help promote the show, which they did this year. It's a great thing that they keep doing to make the show better.
It takes a small army to put this together. I mean, you look at the security people and the hotels that get involved and the restaurants. I mean, it's an absolute community effort to pull this thing off. And it's 4 days, to what Janet said, of people that really like fitness, and they converge upon Columbus for these 4 days and really have a great time. So, by the way, it takes a small army to get Janet here. I mean, we're talking like
she's got handlers,
charter jets. We got handlers,
makeup
makeup,
artists.
security. Yeah, you don't just wheel Janet
hair
into town.
people.
And exactly. You don't show up with your matching phone case with your outfit. It takes some work. Anyways, we're looking forward to it. We're having a lot of fun here. We're glad you've been with us here for this 1 hour pre-show, and we still got a little bit of time before we kick things off. Again tonight, we'll have Fitness International, Wellness International, and then we'll move on to, get my notes here out of the way, we will have the Classic Physique and then Bodybuilding to wrap things up tonight. We're hoping to get, fingers crossed, Governor will slide in next to DJ over there, and he'll give us his insight. And I always like it when he pops in, because it's not just a cameo. Remember last year he came and they thought, he's just going to come for about 5 minutes or 2 minutes. He stayed with us for like 20.
He judges the show with us.
He had a blast doing it.
Yeah,
So it was kind of neat. So when you say you haven't been interviewed by him, I think this is kind of a big
Oh yeah,
deal.
come on. This made up for it last year.
I mean, you're on the set with Janet, DJ, the Governor.
So since we have some time, I want to put Ford on the spot.
Oh, here
God,
we go. Favorite part of the show.
Yeah, favorite part of the show. This is Ford. Give
Yes.
me your top five.
In the open?
In the open.
Well, this is going to be an unpopular.
Well, no, we're going to do one right now.
You got 1 minute.
And then we're going to do one after prejudging, or before the finals tomorrow.
Well, after
where we can
prejudging,
change it
yeah,
again.
okay. Okay, well, I'm going to go. My original prediction I made last week was Rami, Nick, Samson, Andrew, Sean, William. And then I think I went Justin, Akeem, Justin, Kamal, Patrick. So I gave you the whole 10, just the top 3.
Okay, we're going to leave it at that. But that was pretty good. He was good earlier today in prejudging, so we'll see if it all plays out. But we want to thank you for joining us for this pre-show. We'll have it again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, carrying you up to the show. But we are just about ready to go here at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. So on behalf of Dennis, Fuad, Janet, myself, Todd Harris, we will hand you over now. We are ready to roll here at the Arnold Classic.
everything that I did. No matter how hard I had to work or how much I had to struggle, it didn't matter because I knew what the purpose was and I found my passion. Always discover your vision and the rest will follow.
You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, if you don't have anybody who can sell it for you or tell the public, it's a waste of time, the whole thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your MC for the evening, Bob Ciccarello. Your house light set.
All right, how we doing, Columbus? Man, it is great to be back and in full force for anybody at the Expo today. As you see, a lot busier than it's been in the last couple of years. Of course, we had that COVID nonsense to deal with, but all that in the past now, and you can see we are back in full force here at the Arnold. Lots of new vendors, lots of new sponsors, a little bit bigger. They made the aisles a little bit bigger. Don't know if you guys noticed, but a little bit easier to get around. And of course, we had a lot of the champs kicking around the Expo. I did a little seminar thing this morning with Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman himself. And a lot of the pros, of course, in attendance. We saw Sugar Sean Ray, Hall of Famer out there, Branch Warren, and a host of others. We've got some former champs coming around this weekend, folks. Tomorrow night will be graced with many of the former Arnold Classic champs will be right here on this stage. Some of them you'll see tonight in the trophy presentations. Who saw the prejudging this morning? Some great talent on this stage here tonight. You're going to see the finals unfold. Winners of the Arnold become instantly the #1 contenders for the Olympia. So we're going to see some of the great high-flying, death-defying routines tonight from our ladies. That'll be starting off the show. But I just want to say this show was sanctioned by the IFBB Pro League under the direction of our Pro League president, Mr. Jim Mannion. This show, folks, hosts some of the best invites around. So this isn't a gigantic show in terms of numbers, but a very select in terms of who they bring here and who they invite to the Arnold. So the athletes are lined up and ready, folks. The judges are seated and in place. The only question left is fans here in Columbus, are you ready? You're definitely ready. I like that. Come on now, we got to do a little bit better than that, folks. These athletes are all the way in the back. They've been getting ready all year for this special moment to get on this stage. The big man himself, Arnold, is in the house. Of course, we'll see him a little bit later in the program. Always a pleasure to see the governor back in action on this stage. This is a show that he actually won all the way back in 1970, in the early 70s with Jim Lorimer. He's looking down from above here. We just lost him, unfortunately, this year and into his 90s. But this was his life's work, and of course, Arnold, Jim, made that famous handshake and brought the Arnold to what you see here today, from the International to the Mr. World to now the Arnold Sports Festival. All right, this time, so Jim Lorimer himself, looking down at us tonight, can be proud of what we've built and carried on in his name. Fans here in Columbus, are you ready? All right, folks, for those that were at the prejudging, you saw round 1 of our Fitness International. That is the 2-piece round. That is worth 1/3 of their score. Tonight, the finals routine worth 2/3. That, of course, gets combined, and we'll see who our winner is a little bit later in the program. So let's get right to it, everybody. Your first competitor from Woodstock, Georgia, Kristen Pope.
So Kristen Pope now going to work. Janet, it's a good or a bad thing to be the first one to come out. You get your routine over with. You get it, get it done quick, but you also have to kind of warm up the fans and warm up the judges.
Absolutely. I'm sure the nerves were just, she's ready to get out and expend this energy. It's nerve-wracking to be the first one, but at the same time, it's kind of good because then you're done and over with.
She is a member of the USA National Olympic weightlifting team. Kristen Pope out of Georgia.
This is her debut, too, so I'm assuming there's a lot of nerves that come with that as well, trying to impress such a big crowd.
What's the length of the program? Do you know? Is it 2 minutes?
I think it's 2 minutes.
Is it 2 minutes? Okay.
Maximum 2 minutes.
Max 2, okay.
And with every routine, they have to have these 4 mandatory moves. You'll see them all do a push-up, high kick, straddle hold, and side split.
Oh.
Just got to keep going.
Yeah,
She played it off well.
Yep.
Like nothing ever happened. You got to keep doing that.
She got everything covered.
And sometimes when you make a little mistake and you move on like nothing ever happened, most of the time, most people don't catch that.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't even notice.
Give it up for Kristen Pope.
So one small bobble there in the middle for Kristen Pope. Good
Your
routine
next
for her.
competitor, please welcome from the United Kingdom, Michelle Freda Menza.
All right, Michelle is one of the athletes that everyone in this panel was looking forward to.
Wow. Came out with a bang.
And not wasting any time.
I always try and guess what the themes are. I don't know if I can see a theme. I see just more a nice outfit. Is there a theme here,
sometimes
Janet?
I don't think that everyone has a theme, that they can just put something together and make it very elaborate and just outstanding. I love the red.
How long does it
Very
take?
powerful.
Yeah, how long does it take Janet to choreograph something like this, or does she have someone that's working with her?
I believe these girl fitness routines take months and months to be able to practice and to be able to hold the moves that they need to. And you'll find ways to improve it, make it better.
Remember, Todd, earlier we were talking about, sorry, Janet, we were talking earlier about, can you guess what someone did before?
Yeah.
Here's someone who was a gymnast previously, and you can kind of see it in her routine.
Yep.
Everything's very crisp, very powerful in her moves.
And a cheerleader.
Yeah.
You see those crisp moves with cheerleading as well.
You can see it kind of in her routine. She's got that
I also
cheer
guess
mentality.
that she might be related to Michael Jordan because the way she's working the tongue, Michael Jordan, she always has the tongue out.
I think that's a fitness thing.
It's a
I see
Jordan
that a lot.
thing, yeah. But this is, I like to think, Janet, and correct me if I'm wrong, it reflects a lot of her personality.
Oh,
in their
absolutely.
routine.
I love that the routines are so different and it shows their individuality, a little bit of, their own individual flair, and that's what makes each routine so unique.
She is covering some territory.
There's no nerves there. This is her.
She was definitely ready.
That's her debut, but she looked totally comfortable.
Please welcome your next competitor from New York, New York, Jacqueline Baker.
Okay, so she was a professional dancer, Jacqueline, for 10 years prior to competing, and so we'll see how that translates here.
Jacqueline was third here last year behind Ariel and
Came out at second for prejudging 1 and 2, along with Ariel. We'll have to see if this fitness routine is going to compare and blow out of the water compared to the posing routine. Her physique was very comparable, but again, that was only 1/3 of the scoring, and the fitness routine is 2/3.
I feel like we're seeing a level up here in execution compared to what we saw.
You can tell she's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, she's very comfortable, very crisp.
Extremely flexible.
Gracefully at the same time.
Yes. Yeah, she's making it look easy.
Yeah, it's kind of like telling a story.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely matching her physique with her routine. She's got a great physique, great routine. Wow.
I love how fluid and graceful she moves on stage.
Yeah, it's effortless. It looks effortless. You can see the professional dancer in her.
Yeah, I was going to say, their combinations are just spot on.
She's definitely in the running to win this title tonight. So she's not giving it. She's not giving it or making it easy for Ariel.
No, that's a great routine. I'm really curious to see what Ariel's going to do to top that.
That was beautiful.
Good job.
Very graceful.
Great smile, too.
I almost clapped for
Your
her.
next competitor from Wetumpka, Alabama. Please welcome Tiffany Chandler.
Also a former gymnast.
See, I think we're going to have a theme here. This is kind of where she's got like an old school gymnast outfit on.
Like a...
It's got like an 80s theme
I was going to say,
on.
there's an 80s theme going on.
Yeah.
We got
Or
the
90s.
Reeboks.
It's more like a breakdance outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
With
Oh, here we
hip-hop,
go.
A mix of hip-hop.
Okay, that's what I would do, too.
I got to get you an outfit like that, Dennis, so you can rip it off next year in the booth.
Now, this does remind me of, I once did competitive cheerleading, and we had music similar to this with the upbeat movements, and I can see that in her routine here.
High energy for 2 minutes.
How much do you think the high energy influences the judges, Janet?
I think it
Do you
really
think if you get them hyped
it
up?
draws them in,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
it makes them, it forces them to pay attention. It really draws their attention to them. I think that's very important as a competitor. If you want to compete, you want to be able to keep that judge's eyes on you.
I think routine-wise, she's faring better in this round than she did in her physique round.
I'd agree. I think this is very fun, entertaining.
Yeah, she had a little bit of trouble in her physique round, but I feel like she's...
Lots of energy
Yeah,
here.
she's great here. Great balance, strength.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. And how much do the judges react to how the fans? Because I think the fans are enjoying this.
I don't think I think
don't-
it's almost like a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
I think judges are kind of trained not to pay attention necessarily to the audience,
Your
but
next
maybe
competitor from
subconsciously.
Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Allison Kramer.
We have a former D1 cheerleader.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, I thought Allison Kramer had a great physique. I remember her from this morning. She was a little bit less conditioned than Jacqueline and Ariel, but I think they have her in the 3 or 4 spot.
Yeah, I was saying,
Yeah.
thinking 3.
Yeah, yeah. See if she can pick it up, make up some ground in the routine here. So we're seeing a cheerleading theme, I take it. Is that what we're saying, or is that what it looks like to you?
It is. I can definitely tell there's elements of that, the cheerleading movements.
I just mean the outfit with the. Isn't that kind of a cheerleading outfit, or am I off on that?
It almost looks like a wrestling outfit
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
But I like
With
it.
the boots, yeah.
And you got to make sure that they are very secured and have a good stretch and move with you so you don't have any wardrobe malfunctions on stage. That could be the worst nightmare to have.
A lot of bikini bite. Does he still use bikini bite? Do they still use it?
They do.
Yeah?
They
What's
do.
it called?
Bikini
Bikini bite. It's like a
a-
glue.
Fuad, how do you know about this?
I've used
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say, how do you know about that,
I got some
Fuad?
small trunks. I've been trying to make sure
Oh
I stay
yes,
in
the
place.
guys they do it too. It's a
You
glue
use the
stick
glue?
and it
I've
keeps
used
it in
the glue.
place. I particularly don't love it. It can adhere a little bit too much if you add too much, but it's helpful in this instance where you're moving a lot.
All right, Allison Kramer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from right over there, Matt Bristol. Hell of a job, Matt. Safety first here, folks. Your next competitor, please welcome from Ontario, Canada, Tamara Vaughn.
This is my people. She had good condition this morning.
Yeah.
We'll see how her routine fares. She didn't do as well in the physique round, but see if she can make up some ground here in the routine. She's got great energy. She was 5th place here last year, 6th place at the Olympia that just passed.
I would love to know the meal that they ate before this.
I was asking you that earlier today. You were being coy. You wouldn't share other than you like a good home-cooked burger.
I know a lot of competitors. I don't know if females do this, but I know a lot of competitors after prejudging will do a burger and fries.
Really?
Yeah, and usually some type of liquid. Now I'm assuming they do a lot more liquid to get hydrated for this, but would they do something like a burger and fries post prejudging?
So I think fitness is a little different compared to the other divisions like bikini and wellness and figure, because with those divisions you have to hold that shape.
That's
and
right.
Conditioning, and with fitness it's not necessarily that round judge of rounding is over.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
So
yeah.
they could possibly eat much more.
Sure.
But you don't want to do the routine with a full stomach.
Oh, right. I would be
so-
going right after prejudging and eating right away to make sure that I have some time to digest the
yeah.
food and be
Yeah.
able to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, food malfunction would be right up there with a wardrobe malfunction if you got out there. And, oh,
She definitely keeps up the energy.
yeah, this is a nonstop program from Tamara Vaughn out of Ontario, Canada.
Lots of energy. Good routine.
Canada's own Tamara Vaughn. Our next competitor coming all the way from Finland. Please welcome Mina Pujalati.
We talked about Mina this morning. She's a little bit one of the bigger girls, a little bit wider across the shoulders, a little bit more muscle. She was a former power lifter. I'd like to see how that translates into her routine. Got a motorcycle theme going. Is that what that is?
Oh, look at this.
It is common to see the athletes use props
Yeah.
during their fitness routine. I think that's very cool.
Got the hard rock.
I'm loving the outfit.
I love the music. She's got a little bit of a change up from dance music.
High energy routine.
Yeah.
She's also very powerful, you can see. She's probably going to do a couple of more strength moves.
She's competed on here at the Arnold Classic for the past 2 years. We'll see if this routine can help move her up in placing.
Yeah, I'm with Fuad. The music is, I mean, she's got a nice mix going
Yeah.
here.
It's a nice change from the
Got some Led
dance
Zeppelin.
music.
You got,
and
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
The one thing I have noticed about her routine is she's very, very good with the strength moves, but not as fluid and graceful as, say, Jacqueline is with the acrobatic moves.
So you noticed she did a move on the prop. I wonder if that's to an advantage compared to doing your moves on the carpet.
I think it's just more noticeable. I think it's like
Stands out
maybe your
more.
high, yeah, it stands out a little bit.
Back on the bike.
I feel very drawn into this routine. The
Telling you,
music.
it's the music.
Yes.
Good.
All right, Mina Pujalati.
All right, we got Ariel next.
So the defending champion will be the next to take the stage.
Our next competitor is from Deerfield Beach, Florida. She is your reigning, defending Fitness International Champion. Please welcome Ariel Kadar.
There's something going on there.
Oh boy. I'm in. Already.
I think we're looking at an AI theme. What are we looking at here? Is that Venom?
Is it Tron or is it
It's Venom.
Wakanda
No?
Forever?
Just extremely, like the strength and gracefulness of her moves. Look at that.
Wow, come
Look at
on.
this. One hand.
I haven't seen since earlier today when I saw Dennis James doing that in the lobby. That was impressive.
In my PJ.
Would you say this is similar to last year, or
No, last year she had the Terminator.
the Terminator?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is
The music sounds.
I think it's going to build up though.
Okay.
Last year was, I think, pretty high energy from the start.
This is ominous.
Wow.
Yeah, so the
Feels
the
very
dramatic,
intense.
Yeah.
the
it's-
dramatic cinematic music there.
And the outfit is gorgeous. I love how much it sparkles.
Definitely a master class in showmanship.
The strength is outrageous.
Can most guys do a handstand like that?
Who, the
Not
bodybuilder?
like that.
No.
Not like that. That
Kai-
is-
For body
Kai
strength?
Green's the only bodybuilder I've ever seen do a handstand like that.
strength to weight ratio is ridiculous here.
Oh, wow.
I think Ariel did enough to win
Yeah,
another
that
title.
was
You're defending
that
I
was
don't know if I agree.
Dominating.
pretty dang good.
I think I disagree with you, Dennis.
Well, yeah, well, yeah, that's that.
and your final competitor.
That's why we bring Fouad here. Just
I'm
to be-
just very disagreeable.
Please welcome Tara.
so Tara gets to follow that up. We're back to the high energy.
Tara's international debut. First time to the Arnold stage.
She has a dance, soccer, and Muay Thai background.
Wow.
She got some height on that jump.
Tara Plum is the last competitor to go in the routine. Remember, this is 2/3 of your score.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's effortless.
It's almost like the long limbs make it look
Yeah,
make
I
it
was
look
gonna
nice.
say.
She
One
is
of the
one of the
taller.
taller
Yeah.
competitors.
This is definitely her strong suit compared to her physique round. She's got great energy and great routine.
Her movements are very clean. I don't know if they're a little too, maybe a little too safe.
The moves, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. She's showing a lot of strength, but maybe not a lot of high degree.
Yeah, you can do the reads, Celsius, high tech, and you.
All right, give it up for Tara Plum.
Well done.
Well done, Tara.
Again, I think
All right,
Ariel
folks,
did
you've
enough.
just seen 9 of the best
I was
fine, electrifying action that you can ever get on a main stage in the IFBB. Some of the best pros in the world.
I want to remind you that the pay-per-view is sponsored by Celsius. We have High Tech sponsoring the pay-per-view as well. And of course, Mutant is the title sponsor of the Arnold Classic. That's Dennis, that's Fouad. That is the lovely Janet Leug. I'm Todd Harris, glad to have you with us. All right, guys, that was Fitness International. Put you on the spot. Janet, who do you think won that?
I had a couple of favorites. For me, I really liked Jacqueline Baker's routine, as well as Allison Kramer. They do have that gymnast and cheerleader aspect that you can really see, but they brought a lot of energy and just fun aspects, and it just kept me really drawn into watching them. I couldn't turn away.
Some of the highlights. This was Michelle, and she, wow, intensity.
Michelle looked very confident on stage. That's what I liked about her routine.
This is Kristen Pope got things started off. Yeah, we saw some interesting routines. I keep going back to Ariel. The showmanship, the whole package was.
Even Ford disagrees with me. I think she did enough. She's the reigning champ, and I think in order to beat the champ, you have to kind of knock her out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that quite happened.
I didn't see anything that would knock her out.
I'm going to be disagreeable just to be disagreeable. I think last year's routine. We talked about this originally. You kind of got to match what you did last year. I don't know if her routine this year was as good as last year, and Jacqueline was really amazing.
But however, that was, again, 2/3 of the scoring, but how well they did in the first round. I mean, Ariel did have one of the best physiques out there.
Definitely,
for prejudging.
All right, we are quickly changing over to Wellness International, as the ladies have already been brought out. You see a little bit of difference.
We have Sunny Andrews there on the left, and we have, I believe that's Ryan. Oh no, that's Marissa Andrews. And then we have Andrea Ranko.
And the sisters, they do have a very similar physique, as you can see.
Same gene pool.
One thing I noticed for sure is it looks like Sunny is taking off a little bit of oil.
And face forward.
Because this morning her physique was definitely had a little more oil on it.
Let's do 180, face that back wall.
She's softened up the look a little bit.
I feel she has a little bit more rounder muscles.
She's got a fullness,
compared.
a little bit more fullness to it as well.
Yes.
I still think for Sunny, the thing that's holding her back the most is the glutes are too big and they're almost disproportionate to the rest of the body.
Face forward and walk it back.
I disagree.
Dennis, can the glutes be too big? Can the glutes ever be too big?
And even though with wellness, they are looking for more body mass on the bottom half, it still has to flow well.
Well, it's not. It's overall body mass on the entire lower body, and I think that's what Sunny Andrews is holding back, right? Would you agree? Because it's more glute and not enough leg.
Right, and it would need to flow.
Yeah.
That's what I agree with. I think
And
the
when you
legs
look
are
at
not up to par with
when
the
you look
glutes.
at the standard of Francielle, it flows.
Sure. So on the right there we have Alexis. I believe she's a newcomer. It is her international debut. Then we have Angela, Cassandra, and Rayanne.
Yeah.
And this is your top four, I believe. And you can see here what I mean. These top four, the flow of their lower bodies, everything matches. The quad to the hamstring to the glute to the calves all kind of fit together well.
Okay, ladies, let's do 180, face that back wall.
Yeah, I'm going clear with Angela here.
Angela's the most developed. I think Alexis, this is her debut, but I honestly think we'll see her rise in a couple years.
I think this is the best I've ever seen Angela compete with her physique. It's just nice and tight and flows and still full, but not too
The
striated.
conditioning spot on, yeah, everything's there.
Confirmation round, back to you, Bob.
So there's your confirmation round of wellness. On the big stage, the fans continue to make their way inside the Greater Columbus Convention Center near Packed House.
Who do you think it's going to end up being a third, Rayanne or Alexis? Rayanne looked like she was a little tighter tonight.
I like Alexis.
You think Alexis, eh? Yeah.
Probably because she's wearing red, and it's my favorite color.
All right. I believe we're going to see our ladies in their individual routines. Is that right? All right. Please welcome your first competitor from Orlando, Florida, Andrea Horenko. All right. Changing the program, folks. Sorry, it's my first time doing a show. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. For those here for classic physique, we're going to move right into our individual routines with our gentlemen.
This, I think, is
For
something
those
people
that
like
were
to
at the
see.
prejudging, you saw a fantastic lineup this morning. Again, the caliber of competition, simply fantastic. Tonight, our individuals, and then, of course, we're going to see who wins the title here at the Arnold. Please welcome your first competitor from Brazil, Junior Jaworski.
I think these classic guys are really judged on these posing routines. So we're going to see some really nice creative stuff from them.
Do you prefer to be out there as solo, or do you like it when it's group?
I always love doing my routine.
Solo.
I mean, the comparison is a completely different thing, right? Where the posing routine is kind of for you. The comparison is more of a competitive feeling.
Yeah.
When do they start creating this routine? Like right away in their prep?
I think it depends on the person. Like, if you're naturally a good poser, you could probably put something together in a couple weeks. If it's not really your thing, then you might need to start 8 weeks out and kind of build on it and practice it. Great back development. Looks fuller than this morning, that's for sure. Still just as hard.
We talked about what they did post prejudging, prepping for tonight's program, and going through their routine. Curitiba, Brazil's Junior Jaworski wrapping up.
Please welcome your next competitor from Spring, Texas, Jason Brown.
Looks like you got smaller trunks, Janet.
Got the memo.
He heard you. Yeah, I really like that physique. I just think he's, I don't know, I think he was ahead of where they have him.
Oh, you gotta like some building music.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Great transitions. Good poses, good transitions from shot to shot. He's either a natural or he's definitely practiced this.
That is definitely a physique.
Definitely a great showing for Jason.
Your next competitor from Miami, Florida, a former Arnold Classic champion. Please welcome Alex Cambronero.
Alex trying to get back to that form that won him the title back in 2020. 2021, he finished in second.
This sport has grown so much in, the short time it's been around. the physiques they just keep changing and getting better and better. And then Chris is the standard they're all trying to catch.
Now, are these routines to maximize their strengths, or are there compulsory things that they have to do that the judges want to see?
There's no compulsory things they have to do in their routine. Your routine is basically your expression of your physique. And what you want to do is show your physique in the best light possible, because some shots might not look good on you. You're going to leave those out, obviously.
He's obviously done some video work where he's done these poses, and this looks good, this translates well.
Yeah, he's been around long enough to know, like, I know this shot looks good on me, or that shot looks good on me. So you're trying
a great front shot.
Yeah, you're trying to show your best attributes.
I kind of like this music. I got to be honest with you. It's soothing.
Some guys can do slow and make it look good, and other guys, it just slow doesn't suit them. But this is definitely working for him.
Does a nice job of transitioning from one pose to another.
Mm-hmm. Looks a little fuller than this morning. Conditioning's still good.
It's also a different light compared to pre-judging this morning.
Yes.
There you go. Well done, Alex.
I think I have him in third, Dennis.
Yeah. Me too.
All right, thank you, Alex.
Let's just see how Mike looks
Please welcome
tonight.
your next competitor from Denton, Texas, Courage O'Para. Your next competitor from Brazil, please welcome Ramon Dino.
Here we go.
Ramon has stepped up another level. We'll see what his posing routine looks like.
So it'll be Ramon, then Mike Summerfield, and then Urs will wrap things up. And just a programming note, when they're done, guys and ladies, they'll go back to Wellness International's individuals. So keep you honest. For those of you who are wondering, hey, wait a second, the Dennis James of the world, I got ripped off on my wellness. We're going back.
I gotta be honest, I didn't feel like he put as much into that routine as he should have, but they're not really being scored on it.
Please welcome your next competitor from Germany, Mike Sommerfeld.
A great shot.
Mike is bringing the drama.
Very good.
It's also a good, very good pose
Yeah.
too.
Very, very good.
He seems to be very fluid in his movements.
I was going to say he's got very good control of everything. He knows exactly where every body part is and moving it through space. He's got it all planned out very nicely.
If it was just a tad drier, he would take over Alex for sure.
I don't know. They still might put him ahead of Alex, but I think I have Alex in third.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have another confirmation round, so.
Yeah. Great poser, though.
And your final competitor from Germany, please welcome Urs Kalasinski.
And like we talked about earlier today, this is one of Urs' favorite parts of the show.
Yeah. Is he in a situation where he could come out here and crush this and walk away with the title?
I don't think so, because I don't.
You don't think he did enough earlier?
The posing round isn't scored as heavily, if at all, compared to the other rounds. So I think Ramon really is in charge right now. Having fun, man. That's great. Here it is, the breakdancing.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Little change of pace.
See,
Well done.
If this.
I want to thank our sponsors, Celsius, a sponsor of the pay-per-view broadcast. Also want to thank the good folks at High Tech, official sponsor of the pay-per-view as well, and Mutant, the title sponsor for the Arnold Classic. All right, so we are through Classic. We're going to go back to wellness, and your takeaways. We'll start with you, Fouad. What'd you think?
Well, I was just going to say about that routine. If they scored the routines with the same level of everything else, Urs would be able to jump ahead of Ramon because he definitely put on a better show. As far as wellness goes, I think the only area we're really looking at is Alexis and Rayanne in third place. We're not sure who's going to end up there, but I think Angela has it locked, and you'd say Cassandra in second.
Yeah.
Janet?
I would agree with that. I think Angela, again, came in looking her best ever, just very, the lines, the conditioning, the fullness, and not overdoing with the conditioning. Her body just flowed very well with the balance of from the upper body to the lower body. I think she has it, like you said, between Cassandra and Alexis for third and second.
All right, let's go back out to Bob and see what he has to say.
An opportunity to add that up, and of course, we'll crown a new winner here tonight. All right, folks, we are ready to go. Our ladies are in place, here to perform their individual presentations. Please welcome your first competitor. From Orlando, Florida, Andrea Horenko.
So, Janet, they did have a little bit of a break. They're back out there now. Andrea Horenko.
All right, thank you, Andrea.
Finishing up her
Please welcome from Brazil,
individual routine.
Borges.
And here's Angela.
Angela displays a great feminine grace to her throughout her posing and presentation.
Yeah, she was very impressive earlier today, Janet. And it looks like she's just the composure. She's got the symmetry, everything just, you talk about flow and everything. She certainly has it.
From presentation to physique-wise, I think she's the most put together.
Thank you, Angela.
So there's Angela Borges out of São Paulo, Brazil.
Virginia, please welcome Alexis Adams.
Now she's one to look at for her and Cassandra for second and third.
Where does she find the time? From one nurse to another, she's a labor and delivery nurse. Where does she find the time to train?
These girls are committed.
Yeah.
As any fitness competitor, bodybuilding competitor, you have to be committed and dedicated, and you find the time. Alexis has a beautiful display of conditioning, balance, muscle structure. Very impressive.
Thank you, Alexis.
Well done.
Please welcome
Beautiful
from
presentation.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, Amanda Burnett.
And Amanda making her Wellness International debut. And this is the one we talked about with Dennis and Fuad about former marathon runner.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if those were days gone by, because is that the physique you could use? Could you run a marathon?
I would bet that it's been a long time since she's run a marathon.
Do you have any desire to run a marathon?
I do. I actually wanted to last year.
Really?
I started and then I quit.
It's a lot of training. You started the marathon, or you started training for the marathon?
I said I started.
Got a mile into it and said, this isn't for me?
I got a few miles down the road and I was like, it's not for me.
It's funny because I tried the same. I tried to run, and I was jogging at first, and I think I tore my calf doing that.
With Amanda's physique, you couldn't tell she was a former marathon runner.
Yeah.
Please welcome from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, Canada, Cassandra Gillis.
All right, here's another one, Janet, that you and the fellows really liked for a top 3 finish.
Very comparable to Angela. However, I think she lacks a little bit with the upper body it's a bit more dominant for the flow of the physique for wellness.
Oh,
Is she getting house music here, or is this your music of your own choice? Strange question, I know.
Well, with bikini, I don't think that we typically don't usually request it, just whatever.
Just whatever they're playing in house music.
comes and
Okay.
plays. So it's
It
kind
won't
of
work
hard.
with me.
Hopefully, you can have a good song that you can get in tune with and feel energy and pull out the vibes that you want to exude.
Right.
Lots of energy and fun, confidence on stage.
Thank you, Cassandra. Please welcome from Harper Woods, Michigan, Marissa Andrews.
So now we have the sisters. It'll be Marissa first and then Sunny.
Who do you think is the older sister or younger?
I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but I'm going to say I think Sunny's the older, because I think Sunny's a practicing physician right now.
She's a doctor.
Sunny,
Yeah.
Sunny is the older sister.
And Marissa
Yeah.
is in dental school, so.
With wellness division, it does take a lot of time to be able to really get the muscle development, because it's not just let's get more size on the legs and glutes. It's about having that definition as well, that underlying definition.
Right.
And you don't,
Thank
the
you,
judges don't want to
Marissa.
see too many striations, and I think these girls are doing a
Please
great
welcome
job
from
as far as
Jacksonville,
conditioning goes.
Florida, Sunny
Marissa could possibly have a little bit more on the conditioning.
Can you tell they're sisters? Is it easy for you? Just
When they're standing side by side, you can see the similarities in the
Yeah.
physiques. Sunny won the Pittsburgh Pro in 2022.
she was on the podium last year here at this event. She finished in 3rd place.
She's very confident in her posing and very fluid. You can tell that she's practiced a ton for this, just to really nail it.
And after Sunny will be Rayanne, and she'll be the final competitor here in wellness.
I think the color choice of suit,
Thank you,
I think
Sunny.
suits her very well.
And
Provides
your
a good
final
contrast.
competitor from Brazil, Rayanne Pogo.
Do the different nationalities, Janet, bring a different or a similar flair? Like, do the Brazilian women have a certain style? Do the North American women have a certain style? Or is it once they're on there, it doesn't matter?
I think in general, the wellness division it's such a unique animal that
Right.
they definitely bring that sass and competitiveness on stage, and you absolutely feel it. And I think it's what makes it such a fierce and intriguing division.
As we said, Rayanne will be the final competitor here in wellness.
Thank you, Rayanne.
That was a beautiful presentation. These women have to have
All right,
so much
folks,
confidence to be
you've
able to
seen
get
our
out on
individual
stage and
presentation
perform
from
that
our
way.
ladies. We'll see them back in just a bit as the judges compile their scores together. We're going to see our gentlemen back out in just a moment, folks. Keep in mind, tonight there is a Best Poser Award. We're going to see that play out as we get into the awards for our classic gentlemen. And tomorrow night, as those know that have been here previously, 2 special awards that are also given out. That, of course, is a Best Poser Award in memory of one of the greatest of all time, Ed Corney, and the Franco Colombo Most Muscular Award. You'll see all that unfold tomorrow night. Folks, a little bit later in the program, our gentlemen will be taking the stage pre-judging live here, right here tonight on this stage. Our gentlemen will be taking who will be your next Arnold Classic champion. All right, folks, we are going to move into our confirmation round of scoring. This is one last chance for our judges to get a look at our competitors. Very tight scoring this morning at the pre-judging for those that were there. You saw Big Steve moving these guys around, making them work. You want to get this title, you're going to work for it. So we're going to bring our gentlemen out onto the stage at this time. And let's have our lineup on stage at this time, please.
So that will take us back to Classic Physique as they come back on stage, and we are so happy to welcome the man responsible for this event. 35 years of the Arnold Classic. Of course, the Honorable Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger joining us. Governor, it's good to have you here. You haven't aged a bit. You're like Dick Clark. You never age. You look the same.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But I tell you, it's great to see all of you here, and it's wonderful to see so many people tuning in and watching this live from around the world, which is really great.
35 years later, and it's come to this. What have been your reactions walking around?
Well, it's not only 35 years later, but remember we started in 1976 with the Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, Mr. International, then the Miss Olympia and all those competitions. Then eventually we turned it, in 1989 for the first time into the Arnold Classic. And that has become very, very successful and is now, one of the top shows in the world.
We were all wondering if the first week of March on your calendar is already blocked out. So if someone wants you for a movie, something like this, I can't do it the first week of March.
Well, even when I was governor, this was always blocked out, so, except if there was a disaster, but luckily there never was a disaster during that time. We had plenty of disasters, but I mean, this was really something that is very important to me. I promised myself way back in the 70s that I'm going to go and promote the sport of bodybuilding, and I'm going to continue doing it. As I always say, I was born a bodybuilder, I'm going to die a bodybuilder, so that's me.
We're going to put you right to work as you look at these final comparison rounds here in the physique. What are your thoughts and what are you seeing?
Well, I watched the guys pose right there from downstairs. I was sitting right in front of them, and I have to say that everyone is in excellent shape. They really are very good with their posing. I think that Ramon could have held his posing a little longer because he's such an excellent poser and has such wonderful poses and such great flow. But I feel like just when I was looking and staring at his lat spread, he all of a sudden disappeared and went to another pose. So I think this is the key thing, is I think to hold the poses a little longer. But then other than that, I would say that he was absolutely perfect.
Arnold, what do you see out of the three in the middle there? Who would your pick be out of those three in the middle?
I would say that it's very hard to say. I need to see their back also.
So for the judges, we believe the call-outs are second guy from the right, who is Mike Summerfield, and then we have
Mike Summerfield. I mean, his posing was unbelievable.
Incredible, yeah.
And was flawless.
Yes.
Really good. He just has to still work on his body in certain areas, but I think that he's really come a long way. I mean, when I saw him the last time to now, he's improved really a lot.
So Ramon's getting called back. He'll be on the right-hand side. Is that Urs on his left? Yep.
Urs and Ramon, final two.
Front double bicep.
So they're both in great condition. Urs is a little bit bigger. Ramon is a little bit more detailed. What do you like? What do you like better, Arnold?
I think that it's very tough. Both of them, I think, they're really extraordinary. I think that Summerfield has a huge lat spread and a fantastic double bicep pose from the front. I think that his back is lacking a little bit.
So Urs is on the left?
Yeah, Urs is on the right. Yes.
Yeah. And then Ramon is on the right there. So you think Urs needs a little bit more back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Governor, to your point about international, we got a German and a Brazilian here.
Well, we have two Germans actually up on stage, both of them. And like I was talking about Mike Summerfield, he's also in fantastic shape. And Urs, of course, is great. But I think that Ramon is really the best till the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot of energy. He holds his poses wonderfully. You see, look at that.
There's your Arnold pose.
That's your
This
pose.
Great,
There
great
you
back
go.
pose, yeah. I mean, they're all trying to do that Arnold pose. And of course, I stole the pose from Reg Park. And Reg Park stole it from Steve Reeves. And then Steve Reeves stole it from John Grimmick. And so this is how it goes back, right?
Set yourselves up, front double bicep.
Do you and Sylvester Stallone ever compare who has a better statue? Sylvester's in Philadelphia and yours here?
Well, I think that we both enjoy our statues, and then we both have one at home to make sure that we're covered. And there's one actually, I was in front of the museum in Austria, the Schwarzenegger Museum in Austria. The house where I actually grew up in is now a museum.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So Todd, he has two statues.
So
Stallone's
tell
one.
Sly that, yeah, I've got 2-1. There you go.
It's always a competition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the governor hit it, guys, dead on, agreeing with you with Ramon.
Yeah.
Urs looks fantastic, especially on this angle.
When you look at them here in the side chest, you see the shoulders are a little bit more developed on Ramon. The arms are a little bit more developed, and he's just displaying a little bit more detail than Urs, even though their condition is similar. Like the lat, he's got striations through his lats.
Especially here from the back, you can see
Yeah.
Ramon is ahead of him.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's great that they both have really good calf development, really great leg biceps, and they're ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really ripped.
And Urs is still in his early 20s, so he's still.
That's right, yeah.
He's not even in his prime
Yeah.
yet.
How old is Ramon, Dennis? You know.
I'm not sure, but I think Urs is the youngest one with. I
Look
think
at the
it's
vacuum. I mean, this is
24.
fantastic. You know, I always told you that I'm a vacuum
Right.
fan, and I think that really shows in what shape they're in. Here's the back shot again from Ramon. Because Urs is very smart. He hits his favorite poses, the front bicep. Good camaraderie. People love that.
Gentlemen, for the title, pose down.
Here we go.
Or they're doing all 7.
This, I
something for
think,
everyone.
is the most important part of the whole competition, because this is where you still can lose or win. You know, how do you pose next to the other bodybuilders? How do you move from left to right to the back? Who do you stand next to? And all of that.
I think Alex and Mike know they're in a competition together here.
Right in the middle.
I still have Alex in third.
I think I have Alex in third as well.
So you got
And
Ramon
just
winning.
based off his condition, yes.
Ramon's getting a little more space on the right-hand side. Look at this.
Well, Urs should be chasing him over there.
As a fan in the audience, I think this is a great way to see them have fun on stage and that interaction with the fans, get him going.
I always love when the judges let this round go on and on and on to really see who is in shape and who is going to eventually wipe out or cramp up or do something, right?
Yep.
I mean, I've seen guys pass out during the, pose off because those pose offs sometimes get dragged out so long.
Urs is not. Notice that Urs is not chasing him over to the right. He's taking his own space.
That's a lot of work and dedication amongst those 7.
Oh, yeah. You see, Ramon is very smart. He's very calm. He keeps hitting his shots. He looks good. Facially like a champion, You never see him shaking during the posing or anything like this. Really excellent shape.
So that was classic physique. Got a look, and we're so happy to have the Honorable Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger here with us. Last year it was slap fighting. This year it's chase tag. Have you been just amazed by the size of the crowds that are milling about the expo?
Well, not really. I mean, I tell you, we have built this up over the last 35 years, and every year it's getting bigger. We have more and more sports. This year we have like 60 different sports. from around the world, and this is from 80 different countries that we're talking about here. We have 15,000 athletes participating in all those sports. So it's really amazing of what's going on here. And I think that it's great to have ESPN here and covering some of those sports. And there's great enthusiasm with the people. I've watched today part of the World's Strongest Man competition. I mean, it was amazing. If they would have had 6,000 seats, they would have packed 6,000 seats. But they only had 3,500 or whatever it was. And it was packed, sold out. You know, the line was around the block. It's just such great enthusiasm. So, but this is what it's all about. It's about inspiring people when they come here, inspiring them to go home and say, I got to get in shape, I got to train. That's what this is all about. And also for the bodybuilders and the World's Strongest Man and all of those different athletes from different sports to be able to compete on a stage where they have so many thousands of people watching them. That's what it's all about. And have great cash prizes at the same time. We are lucky with our sponsors.
All right, we are so lucky to have the governor here with us. We go back out on the stage as the evening progresses on here. Remember, this is first night of 3 to come.
So we're going to see this unfold in just a moment. I'm told the guys are ready, folks, so here we go. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Group 1 on stage on the center line, please.
Here we
Here we go.
This
Ready
is
for
what-
the big boys.
Here we
go.
We're waiting for. Justin, Rami, Patrick, Andrew, and Samson on the first line. And for people watching at home, this is not the first call out. This is just a numerical call out.
All right, our gentlemen in place. Let's send it down to the judges' table.
Rami looks incredible.
Oof. Gentlemen, front double bicep.
Samson looks incredible. Andrew looks
Andrew,
great.
yeah.
I feel like Justin has missed a bit. His stomach's a little bit washed out. But Rami is just showing crazy proportions.
Governor, where do your eyes go right
Quarter
now?
turn right.
Which one's jumping off the screen for you?
Rami's showing good condition. Andrew, a little bit better condition from the back.
Back double bicep.
Samson's hamstrings, crazy. Patrick, I feel, is a little bit smaller in this lineup.
I mean, he's standing in between,
In between
two
two
biggest
giants.
guys.
Yeah. Samson looking great. I think Samson looks a little bit better than the Olympia.
Look at Rami's back detail.
You know what? Rami is really standing out in this lineup to me. Yeah. Andrew is definitely in better condition than he was at the Olympia.
And face front.
Oh, yeah, no, he definitely improved a lot, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Stage left, please.
1 through 5.
It's going to be a good show.
And group 2 on the center line.
So group 2 here, we have Akeem, William, Nick, Kamal, Sean Clarita. Akeem looking very large in this lineup. William looking very full too. Nick looks great, very hard condition.
Gentlemen, front double bicep.
Who stands out to you here, Dennis?
Turn to the right.
Well, Nick is in the center. That's always good.
Yeah.
So he stands out. Great ab control.
William is looking very good.
Yeah, really thick.
Quarter turn
Yeah,
right.
he definitely filled back out.
Back double bicep.
You know, Nick from the back is absolutely incredible. Great calves, hamstrings, glutes are striated, back so thick, shoulders, arms are massive. I think Nick has got these back shots hands down, but William's not far behind him.
Quarter turn right. And face front.
Yeah, William looks very impressive.
Those right 3.
Does Nick? Does Nick needs more quad sweep?
Thank you.
Is that something he needs to work on?
I think it could be something in the future that holds him back. I think so far he's still holding his own with it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks, judges getting their first initial look at our gentlemen in our lineups.
I don't know.
Into the turns. Now we're going to move into our individual presentations.
I don't feel like Sean
Please welcome
stood out.
your first competitor from New York,
It's
New
hard
York.
standing next to these big guys.
Yeah.
Justin Rodriguez.
Now, time to get a closer look.
So Justin's one of these guys that we discussed earlier, Dennis, and we said, I think we both agree that if Justin is off just 5%, it really hurts him. He needs to be on all the way 100%.
Finished 5th last year.
It looks like he's a little bit off at this show. Stomach is a little distended. Conditioning is not all the way there.
Yeah, you can see it from the side here.
And bottom line, how great was it having the governor pop in? Arnold Schwarzenegger spent a little time with us. He said he'll come back again, but he has other obligations he's going to take care of. So we will soldier on without him, but he will return. Or as he might say, he'll be back. Yeah, sorry. Justin Rodriguez finishing top 5 last year. 5'9", 258. It's an opportunity now for him to have the entire stage to himself.
Thank you, Justin. Please welcome from Egypt, 2-time former Olympia champion, Big Ramy.
So Big Ramy comes out, and he was impressive when he came out with that first group, finishing 3rd in the 2020 Arnold Classic.
This is the Ramy I was expecting to see at the Olympia, and he missed the mark a little bit, but I really feel like he's brought it here. He looks incredible to me.
Unbelievable width that
Yes.
he takes up, upper body and lower body.
Great separation from the side leg. It's one of his signatures. Triceps look a little bit better than the Olympia, definitely more full. He's peaked better here, in my opinion.
Yes, I mean, Ramy looks better when he's full.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we always say that he needs to, you know, not worried about the weight and brings in condition, but he looks much better than he did at the Olympia.
And you can hear
this is kind of what he looked like leading into the Olympia.
Look who's down front.
Well, you can hear the crowd also are just blown away by the size and fullness and conditioning of Ramy. I don't know, I don't know how you feel, Dennis, but I feel like he's...
How hard is it to do your routine like this when the governor's...
I don't think it would be hard, Todd. I think, if anything, it would give you more motivation. Yeah.
From Spring, Texas, Patrick Moore.
So Patrick now takes the center stage, former boxer.
Patrick Moore is a tough job of following the biggest guy in the show. I think Patrick's time off is showing a little bit. Legs look a little bit down in size. Condition could be a little bit better. He looks a little bit flat almost. But I think he just overall needs a little bit more size to compete in this lineup.
He's got some of the biggest arms in the lineup there.
He's got some great body parts. Upper body is really good. I think the lower body needs to come up to match.
Real small waist. I think he's probably got the tiniest waist on stage.
Sure. Yeah, great back, great shoulders, great arm development. There's some things to work on, and then he can definitely stand with a lot of people in the league.
You mentioned his legs are down. I think his legs actually came up just a little bit.
You think so?
From his last show.
Yeah, I don't. I'm thinking of his Olympia debut when he was at his best.
Well, he was super peeled at that day. But here you can see that he gained a little bit of size, but he needs much more.
What do you think about his conditioning?
Conditioning is good. His upper body conditioning looks like it's a little better than his lower half. But sometimes when you're trying to go for size, you sacrifice a little bit of condition. All right.
You know better as Andrew Jack.
Andrew Jack coming out, as we've spoken about already. He's got new coach, new trainer. and it's showing. He's definitely in better condition. Looks harder from the front for sure. His quads are more separated. Abs are more separated. Shoulder to arm separation is crazy. Chest is so strided and full. Looks amazing from the front. Now from the back and the side is going to be the story to tell. Side of the leg could be sharper. Posing still needs a little bit of work. That side tricep is crazy though. Look at the size of that arm. Quads are feathered. And here's the story here. Glutes are striated.
You notice he flared the knees
Yeah.
to create that.
He's definitely
just
better.
open them up.
I think part of the reason he's flaring the knee is to tighten up the glute. It helps lock in the glute, and it also shows the outer quad.
Got
So it's
great calves too. Look at him.
Yeah.
High calves, but still.
Calves look great. He's definitely sharper. Back is way harder.
Yeah.
But still needs a little bit more, I think, in the hamstring and glute areas to match the top. They definitely did a good job, though. He's much better. The biggest difference I see in this is quads. They're so separated and feathered. I mean, it's really, really impressive to see. Another big man. I think he's 6'2", I believe, 292 pounds weighing in at.
Wow.
Please welcome from the United Kingdom, Samson Dauda.
Samson coming here looking to prove something, coming out stomping on his way out. Round, full muscle bellies, looks great.
Beautiful shape too.
Yeah, tiny waist. Quads are separated nicely. I think he's in a little better shape than he was at the Olympia. His legs look a little harder. Side of the leg showing some graininess, but the glute could still be a little bit harder. Upper body's incredible. Very, very thick chest. From the back,
Good hamstrings.
hamstrings are absolutely stripped. Back is really separated. I mean, you can see everything there. It just needs still a little bit more thickness to stand with someone like Nick or Rami. But overall, he's put together very, very well.
Can't wait for the call-outs because it's much
hard,
easier to see when you put them next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things about Andrew that's tough is he does not look as big as he is until you see him
Yeah.
next to someone else.
Good pose for Samson right there.
Yeah, great arms, shoulders, chest. Everything from the front is perfect.
Thank you, Samson. Please welcome from Clifton, New Jersey, Akeem the Beast Williams.
One of the strongest guys in bodybuilding, probably the strongest guy in the lineup.
His best showing came 2 years ago in 2021 when he placed 5th.
Displaying a ton of muscle. The side of the leg there.
That's
Ooh,
crazy,
geez.
yes.
Looks like a horse's leg. Just crazy. Great separation in the leg there.
His back is always the
Yeah.
part where people, criticize him the most.
Yeah.
He just have this high lats, but listen, if you're separated and if you're dialed in, I don't think it really matters that much. But you can see here, it looks like the arms are a little bit overpowering.
Yeah. Back is for a guy his size, the back is a little distracting because it needs a little bit more muscle, but also I feel like his condition is a little bit off. He's missed his peak at touch. Like you can see the separations there, but it's a film of water over everything. So almost looks like he just missed that peak by just a bit. Not something that's going to be hard to correct though for tomorrow night.
Please welcome from the Netherlands, former Arnold Classic champion, the Conqueror, William Bonac.
William really impressed me in the first call-outs there.
He was going for the back-to-back last year, and he finished second.
His overall size looks good. Arms and shoulders, chest look very round. Legs are separated.
They're not on William when he's standing next to the other guys. He's kind of narrow.
He's very compact.
On top.
Yeah,
he's
got, very compact.
I mean, a gang of muscle.
Yeah.
But he could use more shoulder width. And yeah, but hamstrings is it's sliced.
Conditions
dice.
very good. Yeah.
Back is probably one of the thickest backs in the lineup. It's just a width thing that William is missing.
I think.
But that's his structure. There's nothing he can do about that.
Well, part of what we used to see, though, is a little bit more sweep to the quad. His quads were a little bit more full a couple of years back. I think the back might have been a little bit more full. So there is a difference in size, I think, but he looks incredible today. He looks better than the Olympia, but I think the problem is everybody that beat him at the Olympia also looks better. So I don't know if we're going to see him jump ahead of anybody. He's got much better control of his stomach here than the Olympia. I don't know, it might have been something he ate there or something because it looks better. He's got more control.
Two-time winner of this event, looking to make it 3. It's going to be a tough year for him to get that 3rd.
He's definitely on.
Yeah, his conditioning is very good.
Thank you, William Bonac. Please welcome from Henderson, Nevada, former Arnold champion, Nick the Mutant Walker.
In our interviews with him, very confident about this year.
Nick's always a very confident individual. He knows what he's got. He knows how hard he works. Conditioning's very good. Him and Matt always do a very good job of putting things together. You can see the graininess on the side of the leg there. The separation in the glute is good. Everything is there. Waist looks a little tighter than the Olympia.
Great ab control,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And from the back, I just don't see a flaw from the back. So that's a pose that he's been working on that actually looks very good now. I want to see what it looks like from the front. And that back double was perfect.
Oof.
Yeah, there's nothing missing there at all. Is he harder to you than he was at the Olympia, Dennis? He looks about the same to me. Maybe a little bit more in the legs.
I think he's a little more polished.
Yeah.
So he could be harder. You know, we're looking at the screen right now, so but he looks a little more polished.
Come on, El Carney.
Kamal, a former Mr. Olympia in the 212 division.
Oldest person to ever win it at 47.
He also won the Arnold Classic one year, the 212.
We have to remember he's 52 years old.
This is his men's
incredible.
open debut, though.
No, he did the men's open in the Tampa Pro this year.
But for this
in
event,
22.
here.
Yes, this is his first time here, yes. I'm starting to see a little bit of age come into play, but he still looks incredible for 52.
One of the bodybuilders that come with age that comes to mind is Dexter Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's an outlier. It's not the norm by any stretch to look like Dexter all the way to the end. I mean, Kamal's in that same category though.
That's what I'm.
Somebody who's won a Mr. Olympia at almost 50 years old. I think he was 50 or 49 when he won the Olympia. So he's in the same category.
A little bit out there though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kamal. And your final competitor from Nutley, New Jersey. He is your reigning, defending 212 Olympia champion, the Giant Killer, Sean Clarita.
How is this Sean's Arnold Classic debut?
Well, because the Arnold doesn't have 212 for some years now. So Sean is just doing the Open now. Or second time at the Open.
Look at the arms on Sean.
See, this is the crazy thing about Sean. When you see him by himself,
Yeah.
there's nothing missing. Everything is there. Quads are crazy. Arms are crazy. You know, the hamstring sweep from the side. Like, it's all there. It's all in condition. It looks great. Back is extremely thick. Glutes are in. Yeah, he's very, very good. The thing is, he's in a category now where he's with guys that are just as good, but outweigh him by some pounds.
Yeah.
And this is what I mentioned earlier. I said he needs help from the guys ahead of him.
Yes, yes.
You know, they need to be off for him to be able to slide on by and beat him, because, like Arnold always said, a big, tall bodybuilder always beats a small, good bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks phenomenal. His conditioning is amazing. His
I wonder how
fullness is
much
great.
heavier he is than at the Olympia.
I think his coach, Matt Jansen, posted something earlier. A few weeks ago, he was about, 6 or 7 pounds heavier. So.
All right, folks, you've all seen all 10 of our individual presentations. We're going to bring our gentlemen back online now. All 10 on stage, our confirmation round in full
All right,
effect.
so call-outs.
Coming
We'll
up
see
in
what
just a
happens
few
here.
moments.
It's
This
the
is it,
exciting
folks,
part.
the all-important call-outs. Who do you like, everybody?
What'd you guys say? You could make a case for what, 4 or 5 guys to win this?
Yeah.
I want to see Rami and Nick next to each other.
I'd like to see Samson and Andrew go at it. Just the two of them.
Outstanding lineup once again here at the Arnold, folks. Of course, we expect nothing less for such a prestigious show as this one.
First name called will
Judges
be
got
Rami.
their work cut out for them. Your
No,
chance
because they're
to
going.
help the
Oh yeah,
judges
because they're going to
out.
go in order. Yeah.
What's the name of who you
Rami.
want the first call-out?
It'll be Rami, Andrew, Samson, Nick,
Yeah.
and William. Maybe 5.
All right, let's send it down to the judges. Big Steve.
Thank you, Bob. In numerical order, Big Rami, Andrew Jack, Samson, Nick, and Sean.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Sean pulls ahead of William. Incredible. That's big.
That is a lineup. Look at the right side of that screen.
Andrew is just, look at Rami's proportions.
Yeah, really Rami's quads is filled back
Just-
out.
but his shoulders are full too.
Samson and Rami switch.
Uh-oh.
Right away. Wow.
Big Samson, center stage. Looks incredible. Look at the frame on him. Whew.
Front double bicep.
As far as structures go, I would go Samson has the greatest structure up there.
You biased.
I'm biased. You're right, I'm biased. I'm a very, very big Samson fan. But tell me who's got a better structure there?
Andrew?
No.
You
Look
don't
at the
think?
size of Samson's quads in comparison.
I mean, they're pretty. They're pretty similar.
They're close. They have a very close structure, but I think Samson's filling
But
out his.
I take the condition now into consideration.
Hold on, tiebreaker. Janet, what do you think?
I think he has a great
Who's he?
small
Who's he?
waist, Samson.
Yeah,
I think
I think
he
she's
is one
right.
of the smallest waist on there.
See, and I'm going with DJ. I think Andrew. I love.
Well, and I think Samson's posing is better. If you see that side chest, Samson's really hitting that side chest a little better. Showing, you have to show what you got, you know? From the back, I think I may agree with you, Dennis.
Gentlemen, relax. Everybody on the line. Move up, Samson.
Samson's trying to cheat.
You're already big enough. You don't need to move.
I don't know. know, man. Samson looked incredible.
Back lat spread.
Oh, there's so much detail there. I can't.
Look at Nick. Look at that. Look at his hammies. Holy cow.
Yes. Okay.
Why do you think they moved Rami out?
I don't know. Honestly, I thought he looked
right away.
incredible.
Must be the condition. I think the conditioning is, and we're looking at the screen, so, but
Side tricep.
Do you think the size was
especially in the lower half, it might be from the rear, the condition is not what it was back in 2020. But from the, you know, when you look at the side, look at the quad on Rami from the side. This is,
Yeah.
I mean, he just makes everybody look really, really bad when it comes to the side leg.
Nick looks great in that shot there.
Yeah.
Nick looks very good in that
Yeah.
side tricep.
Abdominals and thighs.
to me, in my opinion, Nick looks the most peeled.
Nick is the most conditioned on that stage, for
Yeah.
sure. Him and Sean are probably the most conditioned on that stage. The thing is, I feel like if we're talking about balance, to me, I go to Andrew and Samson.
Your favorite most
If
muscular.
we're
see that.
if we're going to conditioning, I'm definitely going to Nick.
But when you look at the quads, and you know Samson's got huge quads.
Yes, yes.
And then you see Rami's quads on the outside.
Oh, I know,
gosh.
I know. Look, I can make a case for Rami. I'm not really sure why they moved him out. I think he looks great.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
That was something.
Justin, Patrick, Akeem, William, and Kamal.
I feel bad for William because it looks like he might not make top 5.
Yeah, he's going to have to battle his way ahead out of this lineup. He's the best in this lineup, in my opinion. I don't know if that's what they're seeing, but, I mean, Akeem looks good, too.
Front double bicep.
Yeah, it looks like Justin is letting himself, you know, he's relaxing his abs right now,
Yeah.
especially next to Patrick, you know.
You know, it's funny. If you didn't know who William was
Front
before,
lat spread.
you would say he's great. But because we talk like we talked about earlier, you're kind of judged against your best.
Sure.
So people are used to seeing William look a certain way, and he's definitely down in size.
Side chest. Back double bicep.
What do you think, Dennis? In
Back
this
lat
group,
spread.
I still, like from the back, I especially have William.
Yeah,
From the front might be a different story. Akeem's really holding his own from the front. Overall conditioning would be better on Samson, though, or on, on William.
Side tricep.
I still can't get over the quads on Big Rami. I mean, that was
I know, right?
next level.
yeah, he must be over 300 pounds.
Do you think he was just fuming when they had him move out to the?
Well, it's got to be hard on an athlete knowing
Abdominals and thighs.
you want to win a show and they move you out, you
Move
know,
you to the side.
because it usually means that you're not in the running. And it's the
Yeah.
same scenario we had
Right
at
away,
the
it
Olympia.
affects
Yeah.
your mental.
Yeah.
Yes, so you know, but it looked like he took it much better tonight because I don't think this means a whole lot. You know, it still might change because
Your
we still have
favorite
another
most
call out or
muscular.
two coming.
Well, and they're going to judge again tomorrow as well. So, you know, things have changed dramatically in the past.
Yeah, look at William.
Relax. Everyone back in line, please.
All right, we're going to get
All right.
we're going to get a real look at what their idea is of 1 through 3 here. They're probably going to go call a top 3 out.
Rami,
Maybe not. Maybe 4.
Akeem,
Oh, I see. This is for fifth
and
place.
William.
Oh, William.
So we have a secure 4 so far for prejudging. This is going to be for 5, 6, 7, 8.
Rami and Akeem switch.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is for 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Front double bicep.
Sean
Front
next to
lat
Rami.
spread.
Oh.
Side chest. Back double bicep.
Wow.
Sean
Back
looks
lat
good there,
spread.
man. It's weird, you know, when I look at Rami, he's got shredded glutes, but the skin itself doesn't look as hard.
Side tricep.
I think he knows because Rami usually wears the glutes all the way in to show. I mean, the trunks all the way in to show the glutes, and he's not doing it today. So I guess he's aware of him not being as crisp as he maybe could be.
Sure.
Abdominals and thighs.
But still so impressive. I mean, you can see. I mean, the quads improved again in size.
I think he looks great.
Yeah, his abs are tight.
I'm still absolutely blown away by him.
Your favorite most muscular.
He's so much bigger than Akeem, and Akeem is huge.
I know, like the roundness of his shoulders, the roundness of his quads. It's like, it's got to be just a conditioning thing.
Andrew, Samson, and Nick.
Here we go.
Ooh, here we go.
The top three.
You know, Steve is going to mix them around. Now,
Oh
so
yeah,
he
we're
really
not
can't
going
go
to know.
by.
We're not going to know anything. He's going to put everybody in the middle, put everybody on the outside. We're going to have to come back tomorrow and find out. But this is great news for these three, and it's great news for Andrew
Front double
because
bicep.
Andrew has leapfrogged over Rami, and so has Samson. I think Andrew is in a little bit better condition than Samson.
Yes.
Yeah. Samson's a little bit smooth to the chest and abs.
I mean, Andrew is fighting Nick for best conditioning in the show right now, from the front at least.
Well, out of these three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's where Nick shines again from the side.
The side shots are crazy,
Double
yeah.
bicep.
Andrew starts to lose a little bit in those side shots. And from the back, I think Samson picks up a little bit because he's got a little bit more detail in the hamstring. The hamstrings are thicker. The legs are thicker overall.
Back lat spread.
See, I would go Nick, Samson, Andrew from the back.
Look at Andrew's back now. This is what we complained
Lats are
about
straight,
all
yeah.
the last year.
Yeah,
Side tricep.
that back lat spreads for Andrew. Well, Nick first and then Andrew second. And Nick's side tricep is lights out.
Abdominals and thighs.
Get your cameras ready.
Your favorite most muscular.
Look at the tiny waist on Andrew.
I know, man. Andrew has definitely brought the conditioning, and he's getting harder as they go.
Nick and Andrew switch. Front double bicep.
Still fires you up as an athlete, even you know that
I know,
this
I'm
is
good.
Steve's way of doing
Right,
it.
I know.
Yeah, Nick's front lat spread
It needs work, yeah.
it needs some work.
He's having a tough time pulling it out. So the front lat spread I definitely give to Andrew. Side shots I'm going to give to Nick.
Back double bicep.
Back shots are Nick's all day long.
Side tricep. Abdominals and thighs. Your favorite, most muscular.
Nick knows it, eh? He's like, this is my shot.
Step forward, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, look at Andrew. Andrew's most muscular. Samson's most muscular. They're there. They're there.
Samson and Nick switch.
All right, Samson's turn.
Everyone's getting a shot in the middle.
The crowd. You got the crowd, too. I feel like Samson has the least amount of oil on as well.
Yeah, I think he should have a little bit more.
Yeah. His chest looks a little dry. I don't know, man. Honestly,
this could go either way.
Samson's got a beautiful physique, man. He just a little bit more oil on that chest. That front lat spread on Andrew is nuts.
Side chest.
This is confusing.
I don't.
This is. I mean, all three of
Look,
them brought it.
if we're picking pose for pose and we're going shot for shot, I feel like Nick has more of the shots. I feel like he's got both back shots and both side shots. That's 4 out of 8, and then the most muscular is a toss-up.
Yeah. So, but if Andrew could win 4 other poses,
that's true. But I don't think Andrew's winning all the front shots.
So how do you have him?
I don't know, man. Right now, I think I would have to go based on conditioning. I think I would have to go Nick, Andrew, Samson.
Based on the first call out,
Abdominals and thighs.
I have Andrew ahead of Nick.
Where's Samson then? Third?
On the first call out, Samson was in the second.
I know, he was in the middle. I know.
Your favorite, most muscular.
Well, I mean, look, if they're looking for balance first, Samson's got the most balanced physique in my opinion. But if they're looking for conditioning,
it's Nick or Andrew.
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to depend. But as far as balance goes,
but who has the best combination of everything?
Well, and that's the thing. Judging on the screen, we can't really tell if Samson's condition is better than the oil that, you know what I mean? Like on the.
Wow. We're gonna go to sleep tonight confused, not knowing what's going to happen. And this is the beauty of this sport, that tomorrow.
What a great show.
Tomorrow we have a confirmation round, and a lot of things will be decided tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right back here on the main stage for the finals tomorrow night. We're going to find out who gets crowned Arnold Classic champ for this year.
Well, a lot to digest. I mean, you guys could make a case easily for that last round of 3 different guys to win the Classic.
Literally, you could make a case for each.
If they said right now, Nick wins, okay, I get that.
Absolutely,
Samson
no
wins.
problem.
Could argue.
I get that. Andrew Jack wins.
Because, go ahead, Dennis.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Nick came improved. Condition was maybe, he looked a little more polished. He looked probably a little downsized from the Olympia.
I'd say that, yeah.
Andrew is the one that came in the most improved since the Olympia. I mean, he did drastically improve. I mean, it's a total different package. So that's probably why I'm leaning towards Andrew just a little bit more, because we expected a lot from Samson, and we saw a lot. Was it the same condition as the Olympia? I'm not quite sure, because I watched it off stage at the Olympia, and right now I'm looking at the screen, so could be. But if I had to choose one who made the biggest improvement, it's absolutely Andrew Jack.
So the biggest improvement would be Andrew, and I would agree with you there. But is that improvement enough to jump ahead of Samson and Nick, who beat him at the Olympia? Because I do believe Samson's condition is a little better. I think Nick is the one who's the closest to the same as the Olympia.
Yeah. So, and you know, is that necessarily
It's not a bad
plus?
thing. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
It's not, but it's also maybe not a plus because there's, you know, they want to see some improvement.
Yeah.
And there's only 10 weeks. I mean, what they did in 10 weeks, Andrew.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's awards time. Let's go back out to the set now.
We're going to bring out our lineup on stage and awarding from 6th to 1st place. We have all the results in at this time. So if I can have our presenters for 6th place on stage. Awarding the 6th place award tonight. It's my good friend Joe Binley from Project AD. And a former Arnold Classic champ, Mike Ashley, in the house. And they may take the 6th place award and present it to Tiffany Chandler.
Janet, she had a good routine. Her routine was good.
It was. I would agree with that. I believe it was my 3rd favorite.
So Tiffany Chandler
All right, congratulations, Tiffany.
gets a 6th. Who will be top 5?
Presenting the 5th place award, representing Celsius, Fisher Edwards and Victor Martinez. Please take the 5th place award and present it to Tara Plum.
So Tara Plum was the last one to go. High energy. We liked her routine as well.
And this is her debut here.
Yeah.
5th place.
Top 5 for her.
Very athletic.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be 4.
Presenting
And
the
then
4th place award, representing Wolfpack, Mr. Michael Henderson and his daughter Emma Henderson, along with IFBB superstar Mike Ashley. Don't see Mike, but that's okay. We've got the Hendersons on stage. They will take the 4th place award and present it to Allison Kramer.
so far, Janet, any surprises for you?
Allison's Kramer was one of my favorite routines that I liked. But again, you know, the fitness routine was
Right.
judged more than the
2/3.
physique round.
All right, now
All
it's
right, into
top
our
3.
Top 3 money spots. Presenting the 3rd place award from Train Heroic, Miss Lily Friel. Along with Victor Martinez, they will take the 3rd place award, the 3rd place check, and present it to Michelle Frida Mensa.
Oh, good for her. Amazing physique.
Very impressive.
Yeah, amazing physique, lots of energy in the routine, and a lot of strength moves in the routine that were executed very well.
Her pro debut as well. She was very impressive. Really liked her physique.
All right, here it
For
is.
top 2.
Jacqueline and Ariel. We had an argument about
Yeah,
this.
we
I
did.
feel like Ariel
I think I'm the odd
has
man
it,
out.
though.
I'm the odd man out here.
Fuad, you're never.
I'm
the
just
odd
doing
man
it just to
out.
be disagreeable. I'm not actually. I think either one could win.
Yeah.
Ariel's probably, like Dennis said, the favorite going in because of her
Presenting
previous win.
the 2nd place award from the Strength Company, Mr. Connor King.
I have to say though, I did think Jacqueline's routine
Please
round
take the 2nd
was a little bit
place
more
award.
elegant and well done.
The 2nd place check to our runner-up this evening,
Here we go.
Jacqueline Baker.
Oh, there you go.
That's okay. I like Ariel.
Two-time
I like Ariel
champion.
too. So congratulations to Ariel.
Wow.
She definitely deserved to win.
I really like Jacqueline's her routine was really impressive.
I
thought
agree.
she did really well. Yeah.
Lots
Really
of
good.
energy.
Yeah. I just thought everything was very crisp and concise. It wasn't
fluid.
Yeah.
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 Very graceful on the stage.
Well, Janet, those were your top 2 coming in. Those are the 2 you said you thought would be the ones to beat, and you're a genius. Well done.
Well, you know, her physique, the judging round of the physique was very comparable to Ariel, but Ariel had it in the bag. That was pretty evident.
He will take the first place award, the first place check, the title of 2023 Arnold International Fitness Champ, and still Arnold Classic Champion, Ariel Kadar.
Congratulations to her.
Congratulations.
2 Arnolds in a row, eh?
That's tough to do.
I mean, that's incredible.
How soon does she start talking about the 3-peat?
Now, most
mean,
you know what's funny? Most competitors, I don't know if you experienced this, but most competitors I know, they'll go out, they'll eat something, they might take tomorrow off, and then they're right back to it.
Oh, yeah, that's the
So by
competitive
Monday,
mindset.
you're back.
By Monday, she's thinking Olympia.
She's
There's a game plan.
Yeah.
And as a champion, you have to be.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ariel Kadar gets the big interview.
Thank you. I have to ask you a question, because, and that maybe it's a question to all of you. You all look fantastic. Oh man, I was sitting right out there in front. I mean, I looked like an idiot looking at you, staring at you. I was so in awe of those performances. I mean, how long do you train every day to be that flexible, that strong, and that quick and jumping powers and the acrobatics and all this stuff? I mean, how much do you train?
We train a lot. I mean, fitness is tough because
Be more specific.
Okay. I personally train my routine at least 4 or 5 times a week, but that's because I don't actually train my routine as often as some of these other girls, but that's because I have a lot of injuries. I think all of us are honestly on a different training schedule, if I had to be really honest with you, but we all obviously put a lot of effort into this routine and performance to put on the show for you, Arnold, specifically, obviously, but also the fans, and it's a lot of work, but we love it.
Well, let's give them all a big hand for the great effort that they're making here. Thank you very much. Thank you all for the great work you're doing. We are very proud of you, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, my dream just came true, too. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger making the presentation.
All right, thank you, Arnold.
Ariel
Ladies, we got
Kadar
some
gets it.
pictures. Let's put those
That's
awards down,
2-time champion now. Janet, how hard is it to do that? I mean, to come back and what she did last year, I know we still talk about the Terminator routine that she did. She comes back, backs it up, and gets it again.
I mean, she definitely brought it. She did her work that she needed to, conditioning-wise, physique-wise. Also, her routine was very well put together, very intense, and just kept you like drawn in. Like I couldn't, turn away from it. But I think overall, between both judging rounds, it was she was in the front lead.
I know you had leaned towards Jacqueline, but
No, I was
top
just,
2.
I was just messing with you guys. I knew it was going to be.
Don't backtrack.
No, I knew it was going to be tough to overcome Ariel, and she did look awesome, and her routine was awesome. I think Jacqueline did do a good job, and she put up a good fight. But Ariel's the reigning champion, so it's going to be, you got to knock out the champ.
It's hard because you have so many different fitness routines that are different styles and very unique and individual to themselves. And you can love different styles, but then, of course, you add the other element of the judging round of the physique, then one's going to come forward above the other.
Yeah, that was an impressive show. Let's go back out to the stage and the Wellness International Awards.
All right, Dennis, I'm going to call it now. What do you think? Alexis or Ryan?
All right, our ladies in place presenting
In first?
No, third.
Third, I have Alexis.
Alexis in third?
Yes.
I'm going to say that, too, just because her condition is better. But I think Rayanne's a little more complete.
will take the 6th place award and present it to Andrea Horenko.
That was her debut, I believe, right? Yes.
Her presentation was really nice, the way she moved, very fluid and graceful on stage, and that's very important for wellness, to be able to present very confidently and just show you're out there having fun.
It looks like this is her first show ever.
Yeah. I think,
So I think we're going
right.
to I think we're going to see a much better competitor next time, because once you stand on stage with the best, you start to see what you have to do.
Presenting the 5th place award from Evolve, Mr. Joe Fournier.
Yes, he just turned pro last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's her first show.
Yep.
She earned her pro status here at the Arnold Amateur.
Yep.
They will take the 5th place award and present it to Marissa Andrews.
Okay, so one of the sisters
I
is
wonder
top 5.
if that causes any family drama.
No, she also, Marissa,
Just joking.
Marissa got 7th at the Olympia, and Sonny
Sonny
got
got
16th or 17th.
Yeah.
So she's got bragging rights in the house.
Yeah. Well, Marissa has a little better flow to her physique. She doesn't have, the glutes are the same size as the legs, and all that kind of proportion works together.
So Marissa Andrews in
Presenting
5,
the
Andrea
4th place
Horenko in
award,
6.
representing Vade Nutrition, Mr. Joe Johnson. Please take the 4th place award and present it to Alexis Adams.
Oh, they went with the more complete package instead of the
That was a little surprise
condition
for me.
pack. I thought it was a toss-up, really, because I think Brienne has a really good record, too. She was 5th at the Olympia. So, she's a great competitor. I think Alexis's condition was better, though, but not enough to overcome.
All right, into our top 3. Presenting the 3rd place award, representing Pro Tam, Mr. and Mrs. Kaufman coming to the stage. They will take the 3rd place award, the 3rd place check, and present it to Ryan Fogel.
She definitely had a great presentation as well, very fluid, very graceful. These ladies work incredibly hard, but to have that kind of confidence out on stage and in front of everyone, it's not easy, but they make it look effortless.
Presenting the 2nd place award.
Who you got, DJ?
From Typico, IFBB superstar, Mr.
I still
Sean
stick with
Ray.
Angela in first.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
John, please take the 2nd place award, the 2nd place check, to our runner-up this evening, Angela Borges.
No way.
Shocking. Wow.
That means I'm going to have to shave my beard for tomorrow.
You almost.
So that was a bit of a,
I was not expecting that.
oh my.
She looked incredible.
Does that mean Cassandra walks away with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no other way.
there's no other way.
That's shocking. Not that Cassandra doesn't have a great physique or a great record, but I think we were all kind of in agreement that we thought Angela had the more balanced
Presenting
physique.
the 1st place award, representing Angel Competition Bikinis, Miss Kara Jones.
But that shows how close they are to get. I mean, this
Well,
really,
for me, they're actually
Mr.
very
Mike
close. It's just
Ashley, IFBB superstar and former Arnold Classic champ. They will take the 1st place award, the 1st place check, the title of 2023, Arnold Classic Wellness Champ, to our winner, Cassandra Gillis.
Congratulations,
they're
Cassandra.
yeah, they're very close. I was basing my decision on
condition.
Well, no, for me it was presentation. I felt like Angela was presenting her physique and walking a little bit more elegantly, and her presentation was a little better. That was kind of what my entire basis. And I think there's a little bit more.
I like the abs on Angela. Maybe that's.
Well, she's got a smaller upper body.
Yeah.
And presenting the first place award.
But Cassandra, well deserved. I mean, no doubt. I mean.
What's that?
She won. I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that away
from
from
You can really
her.
argue either way.
Right.
Yes.
First and second.
A quick question.
Oh no, this isn't good.
What does it take to be a winner? Is it just training? Is it diet? Is it training your posing, performance? What does it take?
It's everything. Really believing in yourself when other people don't believe that you can do it, and also having a great support team, a great coach. Yeah, it's everything.
How much training do you do every day?
Every day, I only train about 4 to 5 times a week, mostly legs and glutes.
Every day?
Every other day, yeah, because I came from the figure category originally, so I had to bring down my upper body to transition to this category, so I don't touch upper body at all.
Jeez.
Wow.
You don't touch
Upper body.
upper body?
No, I don't train upper body.
Okay. Well, you explained it really well. I mean, we all enjoyed it. Thank you very much for explaining it so well. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You look fantastic. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting to know, coming from figure.
I think Arnold was a little bit shell-shocked at
Yeah.
that. I don't train my upper body.
And she dropped the 4 or 5 times a week. He was expecting the 7 days in a week.
Well, back in Arnold's day, that was normal. Was 7 days a week.
Twice a day.
Hours on end, yeah.
Congratulations to these top 6 wellness international.
So wellness is done, fitness is done.
All right, thank you, ladies. We're going to have Cassandra stay right there in the center.
And there are the final results. Cassandra Gillis just getting the nod over Angela Borges, Bran Fogel, Alexis Adams, and Marissa Andrews, your top 5, with Andrea Herenko, Amanda Burnett, and Sunny Andrews finishing in 8th. So that's no train upper body, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, if she was a figure girl before, she was probably way more muscular. So, in order for her to, fit into this category, she probably had to lose a lot of muscle.
You know what I find interesting is, where is Cassandra's placing from the Olympia? Fourth. So she was behind. She was actually behind Angela at the Olympia. And then she's actually leapfrogged her. So she took the time she needed in between the 2 shows to make the improvements and jump ahead.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work up on the stage, and well-deserved, and congratulations once again. In fitness, it was Ariel getting it done. Cassandra Gillis gets it done in wellness. And now we're going to turn our attention back to the stage, and this is Classic Physique.
Once again, we'll be awarding our top 6. However, we do have a Best Poser Award.
It will go to who?
In our Classic Physique
I
division.
think
That will be
Mike.
given out by
Mike or Urs.
our
Or
good
Urs,
friends
that's
at
where I was
High-Tech
going.
Pharmaceuticals. They will take the Best Poser Award and present it to
I'm going to say Mike.
Yeah.
Urs Kalasinski.
I mean, it was a great routine.
Yeah. What do you like more?
You know what? I didn't think. I know Urs wanted to have a little bit of fun and add the breakdancing to the end, but I liked his physique if it would have finished with just the dramatic part.
Look at Victor in a suit. Wonder what it took for him to put on a suit.
Look at Urs. He's on a roll.
All right, thank you, Victor.
So that's an extra $10,000
At 10G.
for the best routine. Well, they probably judge the
all he wanted
physique
with the
a
worm,
little bit too.
folks.
What's that?
They probably do judge the physique a little bit too when
Yeah.
they decide for the routine. So
Yeah.
if you're in better
So
condition,
the
you might get
conditioning
the
matters,
notch,
yeah.
All right. Anyone want to make their weigh in? What do you think? Who's taking it?
Oh, Ramon.
Ramon
Done.
yeah.
But we've seen
They will
surprises
take
before.
the 6th place award and present it to Junior Jaworski.
I think the only toss-up for me is going to be between Alex and Mike. So who's going to be in third place there. If they go for shape, structure, or if they go for condition.
Got to get the pictures, gentlemen.
This guy hard as nails.
Junior.
Good for him. Look at those legs
Presenting
shredded.
the fifth place award, representing Europa Sports Partners, Mr. Justin Weeks. And he will take the fifth place award and present it to Courage Opara.
Oh, Courage.
Wow.
That's fifth, right?
Your favorite, Todd.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah.
The name alone should get him top 5.
So it looks like
So now it's going to be
he
Alex
beat
or Mike.
out Brown.
Yeah, no, we knew that though. 'Cause
Yeah.
remember they moved Brown out, and they left Courage in the center. So that one's not shocking to me. We're just here's where we're going to see.
Presenting the fourth place award, representing Celsius, Mr. Paul Macharnas. Marchinaris. Sorry about that, Paul. Please take the fourth place award and present it to Mike Sommerfeld.
There we go. So we were right. We decided that they would go conditioning first. Alex does look great, though. I think Alex deserves that third place spot. Especially in Classic. I think in Classic, conditioning holds a little bit
So
more
important,
weight.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for top 3.
Presenting the third place award, our good friends from Project AD. They will take the third place award, the third place check, and present it to Alex Cambronero.
Good for him. He's got a very, very nice physique. He's very complete. He just doesn't have the wow factor that Urs and Ramon have,
And
but
presenting
got a very,
the
very
second
complete
place
physique.
award from Bade Nutrition, Mr. Joe Johnson once again. He will take the second place award, the second place check, to our runner-up this evening, Urs Kolosinski.
Remember, Urs already has a $10,000 check.
Yep.
I love that they do a posing award. Gives them the opportunity to kind of really highlight the showcase,
Yeah.
the hard work they put into the posing routine and award that.
I think it's nice for the fans too, honestly, to see posing routines that are actually like choreographed and well done and thought out. I thought Arnold was right about what he said about Ramon. I thought his poses were a little bit quick.
Yeah.
Our title sponsor, Mutant.
You want to hold the poses a little longer just to make sure the
IFBB
photographers get
Hall of
good
Famer
pictures.
Sean Ray, IFBB superstar Mr. Victor Martinez, and they will take the first place award, the first place check, the title of 2023 Arnold Classic Physique Champ to our winner, Ramon Dino.
Good for him, man. He worked for it. That conditioning is pretty outstanding. Very few bodybuilders or classic competitors I've seen that have been in that kind of condition.
Close last year, finishing second in 2022. He gets the win in 2023.
Talking about his posing, I know what he was doing. The music he was posing to had a faster beat, and he was trying to hit a shot with each pose, with each beat.
Here he comes with the first place award, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Are they giving out jackets now?
It looks like it.
He's so excited.
He's so excited just to be talking to the governor.
So tell me now, how much training did it take to win here today? I'm trying.
every time, but my English is bad. But I thank you, God. Thank you, everybody. Thank my dad, my mother. Thank you for inspiration, for the motivation. Your stories. Oh, shit's crazy, my man. Shit's crazy. Congratulations.
That's
We're
real.
very proud of you. You look fantastic. You deserve to win. And I just thank you all the competitors here. You've done an extraordinary job. It was obviously a very close competition, but you were absolutely perfect today. The best symmetry, size, definition. Your posing routine was excellent, so congratulations. Let's give him a big, big hand. Posing too. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he wants to pose with.
No. Arnold doesn't feel like posing tonight.
No.
I think he only get.
Wow.
Well, no major surprises other than maybe in wellness, but Ramon sticking to script, and you guys called it. Urs finishing second with Alex finishing in third, and just like the governor said, he had the stuff. We'll start with you, DJ. Final thoughts on what we saw today, and looking forward to tomorrow.
I mean, that was to be expected after prejudging. Talking about the open class competitors, surprise for me is that Rami might not be in the top 4 or 5. And that's surprising to me, even though I think he looked better than he did at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So what that shows you how hard it is when you stand next to people, you know, who are really, really well conditioned.
Classic physique goes in the books. Ramon, Courage, and Alex. You need to stay out and do a little more work.
Ramon milking the deserved win.
Did he really want to have a pose off with Arnold? Is that what he was looking for?
I think what he wanted to do was
his pose, Arnold's pose.
Arnold did that with
Cedric.
Arnold did that with Cedric years ago.
Yeah.
And I think other bodybuilders have been trying to get him to do it since.
Yeah. Fouad, what did you think about today, and final thoughts and looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I'll be honest. So the classes ahead with wellness, classic, and fitness, we generally called them pretty, you know, we were pretty logical in our decisions on them. I think the biggest thing today was the open class. There were so many stories that we were waiting for. Andrew showed up in shape. Sean Clarita is ahead of William Bonac at this point. Rami, people couldn't decide if he was going to be in 5th or he's going to be in 1st. And we can see now that he's, as far as after prejudging goes, they have him outside the top 4, I think. So a lot of stories have kind of come out, and we've kind of seen what we can expect tomorrow. Now, the greatest thing about this is nobody knows who the top 3 is, and nobody knows if one of those 4 or 5 guys, 4th or 5th guys, is going to jump back into that top 3. So tomorrow's going to be really exciting.
Janet, give us some clarity. Come on. tell us what's going to happen tomorrow.
I mean, it's interesting because you can control what you bring, but you can't quite control the competition that comes out. And even with the men's open bodybuilding, you really see that a lot of them brought their game. And I'm blown away by the size and width that Rami takes up.
Yeah.
But even that with the size, that doesn't mean that you're going to be, you know, as a top contender here.
Yeah, we saw that the first 4, 5, 6 years of Rami being in the Olympia. He was always the biggest guy, but he said if he ever puts it together, he will win the Olympia, which he did. And knowing Chad, I know exactly what the game plan is for tonight. They're going to bring him probably 3, 4, 5 pounds lighter tomorrow.
Yes.
And it will show, because there's a confirmation round, which, you know, the judges see it as at 50%
You're
of the
right,
score.
and any of those athletes can move up.
Yeah, we saw it last year with Justin Rodriguez. He was 3rd after prejudging, ended up in 5th. So, you know, Rami can still move up. If he brings the condition tomorrow, I think this will be a different ball game.
But I think if we're going to predict anything, it's Rami's going to come in sharper.
Yeah.
Nick will come in more full. And then Andrew and Samson may try and come in a little harder. Andrew really just has to hold where he is. He might even come in a little bit more full as well. But it's going to be interesting tomorrow to see what changes they make to try and jostle for position.
It's all to play for. We'll give you the schedule for tomorrow and let you know what you can count on. The 6 o'clock pre-show we'll have for you, and then we'll kick things off at 7:15 with the Arnold Classic individual posing routine. 7:50 goes Bikini International. Men's Physique 8:05. 8:55 will be the Classic comparison round. And then 9:10, the Arnold Classic pose down. You won't want to miss that. And then 9:15, we'll wrap things up with the award show. So once again, a fantastic day. DJ, you had one last thing to say. You've got 20 seconds.
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because, like I said, I couldn't name a winner right now, and it's very interesting. I would like to see where the scores are right now and who's in the lead.
All right. Well, congratulations to Ariel, two-time champion. Cassandra Gillis gets the win in wellness, and Ramon Dino gets it in classic. So on behalf of Janet Leug, Fuad Abiad, and Dennis James, I'm Todd Harris saying good night. Day one is in the books. Tomorrow we do it all again here at the Arnold Classic from beautiful Columbus, Ohio. Good night, everybody.